Welcome to Brawlhalla.
And hello, everybody. My name is That Jerry Boy. Alongside me, I have Skiffy. We are here. It is the NSIG SEA Showdown. How you feeling about this one, Skiffy? It's excited to be casting with you, my man.
Yeah, this will be my first, I think, tournament casting back after a while. I haven't cast in a long time. I'm really excited to see these players play today, especially after the event of the Winter Championship. I really think that the landscape of C and its pro players have shaken up. I really think we're putting more effort into our practice, more than ever, and I'm really excited to see these players play today, because we have a stacked bracket.
Oh, it's stacked, all right. We have the winners semi-finals first up, and it is Keith up against Laz. Now, I've been lucky enough to manage to catch Keith live a couple times. Laz, I haven't seen that much of myself personally, so in all honesty, I'm a bit of a Keith fan myself. I believe it was last year when he won Springs, just almost out of the blue. You know, he won Springs with the Rayman out of the blue, and now Keith he just tears it up these days. So it'll be interesting to see how this matchup goes. Keith, I'm more familiar with than Laz, but Skiffy, you might have a bit better insight than I do.
So for the longest time, Keith has played on a 60Hz setup. He swapped to 144 probably around the time I actually don't even know. I actually helped him get his whole like new setup or something. He asked me a bunch of questions. Anyway, he's always been a really aggressive player. He's kind of like do the option first, think about it later. So I'd say he really plays off of his intuition, and he just kind of gets a really good feel for the game. If anyone like knows like how it is to play in flow state where you just feel what your opponent's doing, that's Keith like all the time. And that's where I think he's been able to find like an insane amount of success, because I've seen this guy like grinding the game. Like he tells me like, oh, I gotta study, my mom's gonna take away my computer, but he's still grinding the game. So he obviously has a passion, he obviously cares. And we're gonna see him on the Tezca today, which is in this meta a very good pick. Battle Boots, you know, it's gonna do well for anyone, especially someone who has practiced it a lot. But we do see the levels coming out here, and I see only a level 22 on Tezca and a level 39 on Laz. Laz is typically a Koji player, so I haven't really seen quite much of his Jala, or rather his Maggie.
Well, I mean, they have the sword, which is, you know, evidently it aligns up with Koji, but swapping the bow for an axe, it's a little bit interesting. We're going to go to Brawlhaven for game number 1 of not only the set, but the stream in this top 8. Keith on the Tezca, Laz on the Maggie. We're going to get this one underway, ladies and gentlemen.
3, 2, 1, brawl.
All right, honestly, picking Brawlhaven, you know, like against Battle Boots, I really don't like this pick from Laz, especially because, well, one, he dies early. I mean, his SIGs do kill early as well. He has low defense, and I understand the low defense pick into this map, but because basically, like, you're going to be able to kill, like, regardless of your defense, because the maps are really small. But Battle Boots has, like, that potential, kind of like Cannon, kind of like Rocket Lance, to just carry you all the way to the blast zone, and it really only takes one setup outside of a dodge in order to confirm that kill. And it's already looking terrible for Laz right here as he finds himself like on 100 damage.
Try to go for maybe that GC down signature was perhaps a misinput there from Laz, which ends up with Keith being the one to get the KO. So it's at the moment the boots are kind of rocking out for Keith. He's managed to get a couple strings. There's a GC side signature there from Laz. Keith trying to go for a GCN signature, but the recovery there from Laz on the axe is gonna get the KO. I was questioning the axe, and they seem to be priming it. So maybe Laz knows something that I don't, potentially. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I know I got Gauntless has definitely been like touched a bit. Some would say nerfed into the ground, but in this Axe matchup, what do you think? Does Gauntlet still win against Axe, or?
I would say potentially. I would say yeah. Gauntlet probably does win out against Axe nowadays.
And the D-Sig is gonna KO.
I think it's closer to a 50-50 than what it was previously.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially, you know, with Sidelight being a lot more punishable now than what it was before. But why have Gauntlets when you can have Battle Boots and just tear through your opponent? Not even tearing through them, just kicking through your opponent, just chopping them up left, right, and center. Keith trying to find that side air, but now he's on the receiving end of the edge guard. There's a neutralite from Laz. Try to chase out with a Sair. Recovery isn't going to get the KO either. Try to go for the downlight. Keith picking up the boots again. Dare into the endlight. Try to find another down air again. Laz with the weapon throw. Not looking that great. Keith now has the edge guard himself. Gets an endlight. Laz trying to get himself back up. Down signature. That's going to get the KO and Keith takes game 1. Holy!
And that's the problem of going small brawl. Like, okay, that SIG is powerful, but when you're going against blast zones that small, where all it takes is one good read on the edge with a weapon that brings you out that far, like, you're playing with Fireman, and it seems like we're going back to Brawlhaven, which I really don't agree with. But, you know, like, Laz really had, like, an opportunity for a couple resets in terms of the damage values, in terms of like getting back into kind of like that poke game where Keith doesn't have an advantage state. But we just saw that Keith is relentless. He doesn't really give up. He just kind of keeps chasing you, and Laz can't find his footing right now. Probably because he's not playing battle boots. You know, I think that's it. Like, Keith has the boots. He's able to find his footing.
Yeah, Keith has the footing. Laz is kind of scramming around everywhere carrying this big ol' axe, which he's finding a couple hits. He does find the sidelight nair after Keith tried to get himself back onto the stage. Another neutral light there from Laz. The down air gets punished by Keith. The boots again, side signature thrown out. Could have been more costly, but Keith decided against it. Try to go for the GC. Laz gets a side air. Keith is looking not the greatest at the moment. He gets a down air to get a touch. Another down air. That's going to kick out Laz instead.
That's a deadly reversal. That's just a deadly reversal for Laz.
Yeah, a bit of misfortune for Laz. That was an edge guard that he probably will be kicking himself in the guts for, because Keith is the one doing the kicking to him. But Laz does get a GC downlight into the recovery with a nice KO, just trying to keep Keith aware that, hey, yeah, I do have a sword too. I can cut these battle boots just fine. Oh, nice GC downlight, delaying it to pick up that spot dodge.
Oh!
Oh my
Keith in the air too long. He didn't have his boots. He couldn't find his footing. And Laz just capitalizing. Good juggles coming out from Laz. But it's not really going to take much here, especially with those boots, to turn this around in Keith's favor. Especially like how quickly you rack up damage with this string weapon. Laz is definitely going to need to like play a little bit on the back foot, or maybe he's going to try and capitalize as much damage as he can on this stock and simply try and kill Keith next stock.
Oh,
there we go. The ground pound's going to
nice
confirm.
Ground pound. Yeah, if there is one thing here that Laz can probably learn from Keith, it is the edge guards. Keith has been on top of these edge guards the entire time, and Laz hasn't been as fortunate. Oh my goodness, Keith tried to set him up, but didn't have another recovery to be able to take him. Now both of them set back into the neutral, and another sidelight down air, another one, and Laz ties it up. We are 1-1. An edge guard performed perfectly there for Laz.
And I felt there, you know, that these stocks definitely went closer than they needed to be. I feel like both players are playing very aggressive, and you know that might be because this isn't a major tournament, but at the same time I feel like Laz kind of gave a lot of reversals. He did kind of get his one reversal at the end there, but across both games I've just seen like Laz getting reversed on the side a lot, and he's gonna need to be wary, especially if he keeps going Brawlhaven, because it's really not gonna take much to kill on this map, especially with like a weapon that just brings you so far out.
Yeah, Laz now the first one to pick up the weapon. He gets a couple hits, but now it's an edge guard again here. Laz was in the sweat beads already, but nothing came of it. Now Keith picking up the boots, gets an active input side air, reads the dodge, can't get the neutral light out of it instead, but he does have the edge guard. Laz makes his way back with a Sair, but now he's edge guarded again. Try to go for that side signature, huge risk. Not punished though, fortunately for Laz. Now he's picking up the axe, try to go for a side signature when Keith was nowhere to be found. A recovery kicking him up to the sky, try to find the nair. Laz dodged through. Neutral light from Laz, try to find a neutral signature, but nothing comes untoward it. Both players unarmed. Laz throwing away the sword to pick up the axe, and now Keith has the edge guard, try to go for that unarmed Sair. Nothing found of it. Laz keeping the weapons to himself, gets the KO with that downlight recovery, and he has a lead, a very small one considering his KO range, but he does have a lead. A GC downlight.
GC downlight? All the way down there? I mean,
what are you thinking? Hello? Like, I've done that with, like, maybe a bow end light sometimes, but an axe downlight, you gotta be crazy. Yep, GC neutral signature punished easily by Keith.
I don't know, maybe Laz is just Australian because he's all the way down under, but like...
I don't know. He's cooking. I don't know what he's cooking, but it doesn't taste like lasagna.
Yeah.
It ain't lasagna. Ooh, he does get a side air, try to go for a signature, but didn't pay off. Now Laz with the edge guard himself, trying to whiff out some moves, hoping Keith would walk into either of them, but managed to evade. Both stuck in the neutral now.
Yeah, I mean,
Laz picking up the axe.
Laz's sword game is definitely like I like that much more against the Gauntlets than his Axe game. The Axe is a killing weapon, so he is going to swap over to that. Keith missing his Sarah. That down air is going to kill. Laz is going to find himself at about 80 damage on stock 2. A full stock lead against Keith. But again, Battle Boots kills early, and Laz is probably going to have to adopt a more period playstyle here. Oh my. Okay, that doesn't kill.
Something else.
That's a grapple move. It sends down.
Dare. Oh, another
this is deadly.
Ground pound.
This is deadly.
Weapon throw. Oh
my!
Okay, Laz is 2-1 up against Keith. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Oh, and we're seeing the swap from Keith. You will never guess what it is. You will never guess. It is a Bodvar. A Bodvar from Keith.
Yep.
He has gone from Tezca to Bodvar.
Well, maybe. I mean, Keith does have a bit more levels on this character. I have seen him play Bodvar before, and again, that Tezca was only level 22, and I think level 23 by the end of this, by the end of like both games. But yeah, he definitely has more experience on the hammer. He definitely more experience on the sword. He just couldn't really find his footing with the gauntlets there. It did get him a lot of kills with his SIGs, but I think Laz actually did adapt there. He definitely did. And that definitely saved him from getting reversed on the edge constantly. Definitely took a lot of risks there.
Whoa.
And here we go. The hammer hits it's already swinging. It's already coming out, and it's just Laz, you can't be misinputting like that.
Keith's trying to go for a major ground pound, but it's only going to end in his downfall as he gets ground pounded himself. And Laz, he's on fire at the moment. He's got the big swings to back up the talk. There's the downline recovery. Keith's trying to find a second one. A neutral air from all the way up there is going to get the KO for Keith. It's going to even up things a bit. Keith isn't as damaged. He isn't really deficited in the damage at the moment, but it could all well change. He's getting pretty close to the yellow as he dips into it there as he's getting edge guarded. Laz now swapping over to the axe, keeping a weapon away from Keith. There's a neutral light there.
And if you're Laz, you gotta be like, oh man, I really need to win this game right now because I'm one game away from beating the a champion, a major champion, a spring champion, and he's never done this before. I think the highest he's ever placed is 8th in tournament, and so this is gonna be big for Laz. But as I say that, yeah, the nerves might be setting in for Laz because he's never been in this position before against a rank 1 player.
Yeah, Keith he is finding a couple hits on this sword now. Laz maybe struggling a little bit to get the KO, trying to be patient about it. He does get a sword there, but it's not going to get close enough to it. Neutralite, maybe trying to get the edge guard, but Keith with a weapon throw. Try to find that GC downlight. You're seeing Laz is getting slightly more frustrated with his KO options, and Keith is just easily avoiding him at the moment. He does get hit by that down signature, which this time by Laz was perfectly timed on the come up. But there is a lot of damage brought to Laz's name from his frustration. Try to go for that recovery.
Oh my god! What a reversal from Laz! Bro, blink and you missed that. Blink and you missed that right there. Oh, that was... I really thought Keith had that once he brought it back from the second stock. Once he put Laz on his last stock, I really thought Keith had basically secured that because he really didn't have to over engage there, and he went so far down under, which is just the hammer brain on display right there. You see the perfect dodge on that recovery coming out, and then bam, the spin attack ground pound into the confirm, into the reversal, and Keith is just out of there.
Just out. He is gone. Well, I was talking a little bit of smack about Laz's edge guard game for a second, but in the end, it was what got him. It's what's got him into the winners final, and his opponent will be determined by this next game. And oh boy, isn't this a pack of a punch? It is Himway up against Tiger. And we already have the legends locked in. Himway is on the Tezca. Tiger is on the Azoth. And it's look, this is a matchup that I cannot wait to see. Himway, obviously a lot more known for his legend picks like Val, and, you know, just removing the sword for the battle boots. Fair enough option for me, even though he only has a level 11 Tezca compared to Tiger's 53 leveled Azoth. As the bans come in, and we're going to Brawlhaven again. SEA just love Brawlhaven, by the looks of it. Like, I can't blame you, it's a good map.
This is definitely news to me, but as an SEA player. But I mean, look, everyone wants to taste the battle boots. It's not a bad weapon, it's an amazing weapon, and you know, like, maybe you can cheese a couple games, like, off of it before your opponent adapts, and yeah, it's just, everyone wants to taste, because if this weapon doesn't get patched, if this weapon doesn't get nerfed, this is valuable practice, like, on it, especially for next tournament.
Oh, Himway!
Cooking up a storm! Oh my god!
It's just up a storm, turning Tiger into a soccer ball. At the moment, just kicking him around, having a little bit of playtime fun. Trying to find the neutral air there. Tiger can't find anything else. Oh, does get a Sair. Reversing the edge guard at the moment. Himway doesn't have much. He has a dodge to get the touch. Tiger gets his way back up. Try to find the Sair. Himway going all the way around. Himway now on the gauntlets. Neutral air there from Tiger. Now he's pressed Himway off stage, but he does make his way back. Side sig, not going to hit. Himway try to find that downlight, but nothing untoward. GC Haymaker from Tiger was a little bit on the loopy side.
Questionable.
Little bit questionable. Try to find the Sair, but turned around a bit too far. Himway with the active input Sair. He's got to dodge left. He does make it back, but the unarmed recovery from down there is going to get the KO for himself.
Yeah. I mean, that was yeah. Definitely, like, I thought for a moment there at the start of that stock, Tiger was just gone, but he did manage to bring it back. He's going to find himself at an advantage. And, you know, Gauntlet has been tuned a little bit down. But, yeah, the sidelight recovery is going to KO, and both players are going to find themselves at pretty even damage. And, yeah, Henry back on the boots, going to be able to rack up damage really quickly. And, you know, I've seen people, like, I saw Laz play Axe into battle boots, and maybe there's something here where Axe does well against battle boots. I really wouldn't know, because, you know, I haven't, like, experimented with that yet. It's a new weapon. Oh, Henry's gonna find himself deep, and there we go. The Beyblade attack is gonna KO, and Tiger's gonna find himself a full stock up.
Yeah, Tiger doing really well against this Tezca at the moment, but a couple signatures and your life could be begging for mercy, but no. Prayers were answered for Tiger as he does make his way back, but not before Himway makes sure that not without a consequence, he does take the KO. Damage looking even at the moment. Himway priming the battle boots too. Tiger picking up the axe, try to go for the Beyblade, but Himway now has the edge guard. Only a couple dares, but Tiger makes his way back at GC. Himway tried to go for the full reach, but he can't quite get it. He does make his way back, gets a little bit of a poke, try to go for that down signature, not hitting Himway. He's running amok with these boots right now. Side air from Tiger, punishing Himway.
Tiger's just not able to get back on stage. And, like, despite all these hits coming out, like, none of them are KOing. So if you're Himway, you're kind of punching sand right now, because it's like, I've been kicking this guy for like ages. How is he not dead yet?
Whoa,
and there we
go. Close to the KO.
Whoa,
he can't confirm it though. There's an unarmed neutral air, picks up the boots again. Tiger trying to go all the way up high. Gets a Sair, punishing Himway's mistake. Another Sair, that's going to take the KO, and Tiger steals game one.
Wait, that Sair actually killed? I mean, he was all the way out there, but I didn't expect that second Sair to KO. I thought Himway had a bit of a chance there. And, you know, if you're Himway, like, that was a bit of a fumble, but still, I mean, yeah, as I was saying earlier, like, you gotta be punching sand, because Himway had so many hits on Tiger, and he just couldn't find the confirm. Tiger was just able to worm his way out, wiggle his way out of these situations, you know, good dodges, get back to stage, get the axe, and just very quickly get these side airs, or get these moves that hit Himway off stage, where he's able to keep him at an arm's length, or rather an axe's length, and just secure those KOs.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure an axe is way longer than an arm. Like,
yeah, it's a bit longer,
right? It's a bit longer.
I
I
would
mean,
assume.
you have to hold an axe with 2 hands, so you would imagine that an axe is probably longer than 1 arm. Right? You would presume so. We got Himway back, he just had to restart his game, you know, it's online, things like this happen, especially in regions where maybe the internet isn't that good. I'm looking at my own region myself. Not crying about that one. But we are back underway. Brawlhaven is the map choice again. No changes from anyone, just the straight run back. And here we go for game number 2. Tiger's 1 up at the moment. What do you do in Himway's situation?
I mean, I think if you're Himway, like,
3,
I
2,
personally wouldn't
1,
swap Legends here.
brawl.
It's not like the Tezca wasn't working. It was definitely finding hits. It was definitely working. But it's about, like, the kill options. Like, he just couldn't, like, secure his KOs. He couldn't, like, once he went in, he didn't, like, try to reset the stage. He just kind of kept going into Tiger. So if you're Himway, like, you did pretty good. Especially if you're only, like, level 12, did we say? On these,
Yeah,
on
like
these battle
11?
modes?
A level 11 Tezca, I think it was?
Yeah. So, I mean, opportunity to practice the character, obviously in these types of tournaments, but also, I mean, he didn't do too bad as a Tiger.
Didn't do too bad. Ooh, that down signature catching, but it wasn't going to get the KO. Try to get the Beyblade again. Himway without a weapon, picking up the duel. Let's try to go for a side signature. Tiger not able to punish it again. Himway try to go for the chase. Punish for it again. Weapon throw hitting. Side air. Tiger's going off at the moment.
Yeah, he's starting these, like, strings from across the stage. I mean, he's like, I don't know, he's just sniping Himway from across the stage and getting these combos.
I don't know how that... Like, okay, we were all the way at the other side of the stage as Himway gets a KO on the passive input there. Tiger just side air, weapon throw, pick up the weapon again, side air. It's like some... That is some Hollywood stuff right there. I'm gonna be quite
Yeah,
real.
I mean, if you're the Southeast Asian 1v1 Go, then you're probably able to confirm KOs from, like, across the map. That's probably normal.
It's a normal part of the job, part of the business, as he's probably got a cigar in his hand, just waving it about. Just a piece of cake for him, but at the moment, Himway's cutting his cake, or he's just smushing the cake with the boots at the moment. Tiger tried to find a long-ranged, long shot side signature, but Himway's the one with the punish, and he's the one that has a stock in the advantage at the moment in game 2. Tiger on his last stock. He's getting edge guarded at the moment, but maybe a quick turnaround here. Himway doesn't have much. He has nothing at all as the down air gets the poke, and Tiger, within a matter of seconds, had a disadvantaged game, and now we are next to even.
Next to even, and I'm not quite. I think Tezca does have high defense, right? He has about 7 defense.
5 defense.
5 defense. Okay, so it's about average. Azoff, a little bit of a chunkier legend. He's gonna be able to take a bit more hits, and you know you're kind of gonna, like, need to, especially when you're going.
Oh no.
Okay.
Himway does make it back. Tiger going way up high.
Okay.
Down signature after the weapon throw. Side air connecting. Try to find the weapon throw
narrowly
again.
missing.
Oh my goodness. Oh! No! That doesn't catch. That would have been crazy. Nice downlight into the sack.
No.
Tiger trying to go for the trampoline,
Oh!
Player 1
but gets
wins.
it down air after Himway couldn't get the punish. And Tiger, the 1v1, basically the greatest SEA player of all time, is now 2-1 up against Himway.
Now, like, I want you guys to pay attention to this replay, because when I was looking at that, I thought that side sig was gonna hit. And then when that side sig didn't hit, and I saw Himway come in, I was like, oh shit, Tiger's dead. And then Himway whiffed. And then Tiger just got a dare, and I didn't think that dare was gonna hit, but it hit. And then, oh my, that was, yeah, another blink and you miss it
3,
moment
2,
right there.
1,
That was
Yeah.
utterly confusing, but it worked out for Tiger.
Yeah, Himway now has done a complete reversal, just like Heath in our first set. He swapped over to the Bodvar as well. What is going on? It's either Axe, Tezca, or Bodvar at the moment, from what I'm seeing in this winner's side of the bracket.
Yeah, well, I definitely say Bodvar is not a character that you shouldn't play. Like, especially with
Oh, okay, him way.
big,
Whoa.
big reversal. But again, like both versus solid character. I think he's only ever had like one bad moment where you probably shouldn't pick him in Brawlhalla's history, and that was like about a month ago, before they like fixed Hammer, or before they like rebuffed Hammer. So yeah, the Bover pick is solid. I think. Oh yeah, no problems there. I mean, he is gonna get KO'd like after doing a decent amount of damage. Like, this is not damage to be disappointed by. But here we go. He's back on the sword, which is, in my opinion, Himwee's better weapon. It is the weapon that's going to help him rack up the most damage. I do think Hammer, while it has been buffed, it's not necessarily going to be a weapon that you can just easily rack up damage on as easily as you could before. So I do definitely think he should stay on the sword before he tries going for, before he gets Tiger into these KO percentages.
Seeing a couple little bit of movements at the moment. Himway has got a lot of damage built up to him, but so does Tiger. This is a lot more of an even match compared to what we have seen from these two. Even then, it was pretty even, but there was always a runaway with Tiger. He does get a side air, not enough to get the KO. Try to get a down air, but no, another side air. Himway didn't manage to get the touch, and Tiger is a stock away from giving himself a 3-0 into the final.
Yeah, he's just a stock away right now, and you know there's quite a bit of damage on him, like, and there we go. It's evened up. Himwee's not going to find himself that much behind, but again, like, you know, on this map with Azov, with that side stick killing so darn early, or just with the axe Sair, like, I'm putting this in the favor of Tiger. And as I say that, big combos coming out from Himwee. But again, I mean, Tiger's just gonna be more efficient when it comes to killing.
Himwee is just pulling out these absolute flashy combos, and it's working in the damage build up. But when it comes to potentially getting the KO, as he does get the stomp Sair, GC downlight into the recovery, try to find the dodge, but a downlight recovery again from Himwee. He is gonna put himself on the board in this stream as he takes the game off Tiger. It is 2-1 against his favor right now.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Himwee's beaten Tiger before, and Tiger, you know, for the longest time he's been this untamable beast of the East. But you know, as things go on and time progresses, people get better, and Himwee's definitely one of the people that, like, Tiger, I would say, has the most issue with. Definitely, like, a playstyle that I would argue is quite similar to Tiger, at least on the sword. So I don't think this is, you know, if you're Tiger, like, I don't think you're worried. You have tournament experience. But if you're Himwee, you're probably also a bit relaxed, because you know you can beat this guy.
Oh my goodness. Himwee sending Tiger up into the sky at the moment, but now they're bringing themselves back down to earth, and then send him to Brazil with the ground pound. Okay, fair enough, Himwee. He's just looked at Tiger, and it's just your move, Buster. Your move, old man. What are you gonna do? You can't dance for me now. I mean, Tiger does have the bow in his hand at least, and Tiger almost with an immediate response. That signature not hitting. Himwee trying to find these lands on the hammer, trying to go for the recovery, but Tiger just counteract. I mean,
Tiger saw that coming there. He, you know, like, look at all the heads that Tiger has on that skin right now. He's definitely using like 3 brains at a time. Like, he definitely knows.
He knows, but does Himwee know? Himwee knows. Himwee knows. He knows a little bit as well. He's got something in that brain. I mean, you would imagine, or otherwise he wouldn't be able to play. At the moment, Tiger just trying to dance around Himwee's hammer at the moment. Tiger is in a pretty bad spot in the deficit. It's an entire stock deficit at the moment, so either you can try and find some cheeky damage, a cheeky KO here and there. That side signature hitting as well. Side air, ground pound! He might have an answer.
And on the bow though, he is kind of throwing out a lot of these sidelights that aren't quite catching. It is, I wouldn't call it a super punishable move, But, you know, Himwee's a fast player. Himwee reacts quickly. And, yeah, Himwee sees that, sees the whiff, immediately capitalizes. And I think Tiger just needs a little bit more patience. And, you know, instead of throwing out a bit of these sidelights,
Oh, the taunt from Himwee.
Himwee knows he's there.
Game 5. Himwee just catching him with a lot of these hammer, just 1-2s on his last stock. Just another 1-2, bang, 1-2, down like there. You are gone, you are out of there. You haven't even touched the floor. So make sure you put your boots on before you get on the dance floor. Otherwise, you won't be able to dance in my household. But we have a different stage to play on now. Just a little bit of a different vibe. We are on Apocalypse for game number 5. Can Tiger hold himself out, or will Himwee get the reverse 3 set?
I think we played, what? Is it, 8 games of Brawlhalla in top 8 already, so this is definitely fresh. This is definitely new. But yeah, I do want to see how Tiger utilizes that platform. That's gonna help him probably get a lot more KOs on the axe, especially if he utilizes that N-Sig. But yeah, just like Himwee's just running away with the sword. So good at slicing and dicing. Tiger's all the way out on the edge. And
yeah, not only is he running away with it in this game, but he's running away with Tiger's wife and kids too at the moment. Like, there's a sidelight, there's a Sarah into the neutral light. Himwee trying to find a Nair again. He gets a side air. Himwee is trying to find his footing at the moment against Tiger. There's an axe neutral sig, one that you were talking about at the moment. Swaps over to the bow though instead. Himwee finding his footing a little bit again. Tries to get another side air with Tiger on the sweat bees. Downlight recovery. That's going to take the KO. Tiger has a bit of damage on him, but he also has hope. He has hope that he might be able to push through this. Himwee trying to crave through a little bit more. There's a stomp Sarah again. Maybe try to find another one, but there was a backdash. Try to find another Sarah, but potentially miss input. Try to go for maybe a reversal down air instead. Tiger whiffing a neutral light, gets him sad. He does make his way back though. Try to find another Sarah again, punished by the sword of Himwee. Tiger trying to make his way back again. Oh, another side air there by Tiger. Oh, come on.
Himwee is definitely like, he definitely shakes it up, you know, like the stomp Sarah gameplay. Like I think I've seen him throw the most moves out with stomp Sarah. D-Light Ground Pound not gonna be able to KO.
Did he touch?
Dare to confirm it. He did touch.
Back.
He did touch. What?
He made it back, and he gets the KO from it too. Punishing that down signature very nicely. He was able to react quickly and then just getting himself in line for the sword recovery to catch. Downlight into the Nair from Tiger is not going to get the KO just yet. Another one, not even on this map. It's APOC. We got a higher ceiling compared to Brawlhalla, but a recovery will finally do it for Tiger.
I like that movement from Tiger. Like, whiffing the Sarah into drifting off stage, into turning around and immediately recovering to, you know, use the magnetism of that bow recovery over the edge to catch Himwee. That was actually pretty. I like that. I'm writing that down. That's mine now.
Write that one down, and also write this down. Hot topic story. Game 5, last stock. Clean a piece. Whoever wins this goes into winner's final, and Himwee is managing to do a little bit of chopping, a little slice of dice on this sword at the moment. Now, it's Tiger on the axe, hoping to hack and slash, but potentially he's got to find something to get the cash, and Tiger ain't gonna find anything at all. Himwee onto the hammer.
Oh, he has the hammer. This is not good for Tiger because one swing here, one stop, one swing,
reset from Himwee as he puts himself into winner's final. Tiger had it, man. He was close, but Himwee just snuck him out in the end.
I mean, the schmovement was good, but he was not schmoving enough. And you kind of got to be schmoving when you're fighting Himwee, because yeah, Himwee just he moves around like he knows what he's doing. He knows how he's moving. It's always so fluid when you see Himwee move around. He doesn't make mistakes, like especially like in his positioning. And you know, we definitely saw great positioning from Tiger. I really like that KO off of the platform using the D-Light into recovery on Bo. I really like that KO where he slid off the ledge and then turned around in recovery, but these little things just weren't enough to take out Himwee, who just had such an amazing like gameplay on Sword, like just such an amazing run on Sword, where Tiger really didn't know what to do against that. Just, you know, just lots of whiffs and just lots of punishes.
A lot of punishes came out for Himwee, which it did get him across the line in the end. Managed to adapt the legend swap as well with the Bodvar. It did work out for him in the end, but now we are going down into the losers side of the bracket, and it is going to be Sphinx up against 1.31. I've seen both of these players in action, and looks like we have a Ditto on our hands. Looking at the lobby at the moment, it is Ryu up against Ken, who both mimic the abilities of Petra.
Petra.
Which,
yeah.
They both mimic the abilities of Petra.
And you know, like, your Sphinx, like, I think his highest PR was number 2. An amazing player, like, definitely knowledge. He's a Mordex player, so he knows how to play Gauntlets. He's also played a lot of Fate. He definitely has experience in the Orb. But, you know, in recent times, he just hasn't been as strong as he has in the past. And I think that's because he hasn't been playing the game as much, just hasn't had the opportunity to. 1.31, or, the math equation here with us is that, he's an up-and-coming player. I don't think he has any top 8s. Yeah, he doesn't have any top 8s at this moment.
3, 2,
right now,
1,
a lot of players would assign him rank demon status. But, you know, Sphinx, like, I've seen these guys go head-to-head before, and I honestly think 1.31 here has a chance to kind of take it.
Does have a chance indeed, but at the moment these two kind of schmooving and grooving about. Couple moves here and there, but at the moment both of these players trying to find their footing. Sphinx is doing really well with this orb at the moment. Which it's trying to find at least a couple hits here for the math equation, but you know, he's got to do a lot of calculating to be able to get past Sphinx at the moment, because if they get knocked out here if they lose their set at the elimination side of the bracket, it is over, as Sphinx just Hail Marys the math equation, just picks up the orb and snipes him from downtown to give him the lead in stocks.
And Sphinx is notorious for how well he edge guards people. I truly think at this moment there's 3 players who have mastered edge guards, and that's Sphinx, Sire, and, well, I mean, Dolan, maybe. I'd definitely say he's the most creative. Oh, the orb recovery's gonna KO. I mean, he was pretty high up there, but, you know, like, not a lot of damage, you know, on 1.31 here. Just kind of needs to keep Sphinx from getting weapon, but as I say that, Sphinx is going to pick up the gauntlets.
Sphinx on the gauntlets gets the read, which KOs the GC neutral signature. What in the world? I didn't even know that could hit from up there. Like, like, the math equation just went into the attic, and Sphinx just went, hey, what you doing out there, bud? What you doing? Bam, see you later. Sent him through the roof. And at the moment, Sphinx is doing really, really well against 1.31. He is working a lot of this damage. He gets another neutral signature.
Oh my god!
Sphinx, you're crazy! You are crazy! Hello? Hello? Put that one on Pro Brawlhalla Twitter. Excuse me.
I'd like to have a discussion here about, like, there's 2 types of players that you find in Brawlhalla, and I think this is true across most fighting games as well. You have the type of player who minimizes the amount of mistakes they make, but then you also have the other type of player, maybe he's a bit more aggressive, maybe she's a bit more aggressive. This is the player that maximizes their risk and is very alert and aware of what their opponent is punishing and going to do. And I think Sphinx here has, you know, normally he minimizes his mistakes, but right here, I see him maximizing his risk. And he has all these opportunities, and he's taking all of them. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's an all-you-can-eat buffet. Especially with how many, like, NSIGs he's feeding to 1.31 right now.
Yeah, just giving him the spoonful, which it's forced a little bit of a change here for 1.31, which he swapped over to the Giro, which he's getting a Leonardo from TMNT. Kind of cool, I guess. Sphinx with the read. The weapon throw from the math equation, can't find anything else from there.
And
now
on
swapping
old
over
gauntlets,
to the side.
yeah, on old gauntlets, I think that recovery would have KO'd. Ooh, the weapon throw to cancel out the end sig, and that's a very safe option to kind of get the ground to reset. What? Not able to get the touch. Oh, 1.31 is gonna find himself down on a stock that he actually put a lot of work into, and that's gonna be a little bit upsetting. Hopefully he can keep like a calm head right here, because I'd be molding a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be molding a little bit if I kind of lost it right there.
Yeah, 1.31, he does have a weapon which is easier to get the KOs at the moment with the sword, but he just has to be patient as he fumbles the bag a little bit while trying to get on the run, and Sphinx is gonna build even more damage, try to find that down air, neutral signature not hitting, downlight dropping on the sword. Neutral signature picks up, and he does get the KO, but damage deficit here for 1.31 at the moment is crazy. Like, it's incredible. He's got to find a lot of damage here in a short amount of time to be able to bring this back, or at least get a very early KO Gimp on the scythe, which might be a little bit difficult. Sphinx try to get the read, but couldn't quite find that gauntlet recovery. Barbecue sauce at the moment for 1.31. He's trying to get the chicken marinated, but you got to be careful to not overcook it, because you're gonna find yourself a little bit burnt.
When Sphinx is grilling, he's cooking. He is cooking, and like, if you're 1.31, like, yeah, you're just over a bit. You just overcooked there a bit. Like, not much you can really do. Especially like, again, Sphinx is a player that optimizes his risk rather than like focusing on minimizing his mistakes.
Oh no!
Yeah, by the
time that the math equation has chopped up the carrots and has put it in the bowl, Sphinx has the whole entire meal prepared. He is just 1,000 steps ahead, and to be able to just do this at such a quick rate is incredible. Finally, we have the level 100 Mordex come out for 1.31. Can he bring out the change? But at the moment, Sphinx is just he's just way too deadly at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Sphinx is, half of the time I think when he throws out these reads, he's not actually, he is a good player, he does think about it, but right now, I don't think 1.31 is challenging him on these reads, so he's able to just kind of throw them out as 50-50s, and if they hit, free recovery, like that's cool and all, but with the amount that he's able to throw out, this can't just be Sphinx reading him. I don't want to downplay Sphinx, good player, but I think we gotta keep it real here and say that like Sphinx is kind of doing just a 50-50 gameplay right now, and 1.31 really needs to capitalize off of that, because there's some opportunities for an insane amount of damage, especially when you're dittoing him on gauntlets here.
Pound. Potentially another one. There is another one, and it's not looking good for the math equation. He's just not able to figure out the answer to this problem. The problem called Sphinx. There's too many letters in Sphinx. I want numbers. This isn't algebra. This is Brawlhalla. What are we on?
Yeah, I mean, okay. The dodge game is getting a bit better from 1.31. I mean, maybe he's studied a bit and had like taken a bit of some math lessons, figured out like, okay, I gotta stop Sphinx with his 50-50s. The algebra is telling me, all my academics are telling me, and there we go. The ground recovery is gonna KO. Yeah, I mean, pretty even damage.
He's got maybe like a third of the equation right. Now he just has to figure out the rest of it in this game 3. He needs to survive not only getting 3-0'd, but avoid getting yourself knocked out of the tournament itself, as we are on elimination side. Oh, try to get a huge read there, but Sphinx gets
Goes
2 side airs, and that is
all the
put
way out there, man.
1.31 on tournament stock. And Sphinx is an entire stock ahead, basically. Like,
Pretty
this is
much.
crazy.
There's an opportunity for a gimp here, but it seems like that opportunity is passed. And, okay, nice strings coming out from 1.69. Too early on the gauntlet release, on that DC. Yeah, gonna need to play a little bit more patient here. Like, Sphinx, again, is a player that maximizes risk, and therefore, at this moment, he is not paying attention to his mistakes. That isn't to say that he's not trying to make mistakes. It's just that his focus right now is on hitting you rather than not getting hit. And you kind of get him into the mindset where hitting you isn't going to be as easy anymore.
There's another side there by Sphinx, and another one without the weapon and the snipe again.
Oh.
The same way that you get your first KO in the first game is the same way you get the last KO in the last game with just he's just bowling. He found the bucket, swished it in, and 1.31 is out of the tournament, which means that Sphinx can move on.
I think 1.31 is going to have to go back to the chalkboard for another tournament, because he's gonna need to figure out the math on that last one. Because if we take a look at the numbers right here, we're gonna see about 220 damage coming out from the gauntlets, and not even 100, not even triple digits coming out from the scythe. And so, I mean, gauntlets versus scythe, I'd expect, scythe is definitely a string weapon. It definitely KOs based off of reads. But in this state, I would assume that one would play scythe over gauntlets. And if we take if we look over at Sphinx's side right now, we're gonna see about 164 damage on the orb and 265 damage on the gauntlets. And that's fair. Sphinx got a lot of his KOs off of the read with gauntlets. Orb, I feel it's a little bit more difficult. There's not like as many opportunities to get 50-50 options that KO. So I definitely understand his reasoning on the gauntlets because he found major success, especially with those NSIGs. But again, 1.31 definitely had a chance. There were definitely moments where I saw the dream, I saw the potential, I saw the finished equation, but he just couldn't prove it.
But we are gonna have to move to a different side of the classroom. We are still staying in the elimination side of the bracket, but we have Reaper up against Arrow. Obviously, Reaper being a long-time player. Arrow, I've known Arrow more so for his 2v2 antics. So this will be interesting to see how this one turns out. It looks like we have Reaper on the Asuri and Arrow's on the Kaya. So
I mean, I really can't
BCX
complain.
run back?
Yeah, BCX run back. We got Godly and we got Impala. And, we know how this goes. Kaya should win. But this isn't BCX. The stakes aren't nearly as high. So honestly, Kaya got nerfed, but I didn't really see that many changes, especially like what Impala said. She didn't feel too different. These Katars, on the other hand, the Katars got a massive buff. And, Reaper was a Katars player for the longest time. So I think, I'm quite excited to see his return to form, especially in Katars, because he became a guns player for a bit.
Yeah, playing some blasters and then going onto a different weapon, back to the weapon like Katars. I mean, it would definitely a bit of a swap, but at the moment, it's the sword that's doing a lot of this damage. Some unarmed recoveries there. There's a Katars recovery, which is going to end up getting the KO. And now, Arrow is a little bit on the step back with this Kaya. Dodge picked up, and Reaper managing to find an insane amount of damage. That down signature, the magnet, ain't gonna get the attraction of the KO just yet. A second one will. Not a whole lot of damage built up onto Arrow at the moment, but there is enough for Reaper to just absolutely run rampant. That's gonna... Oh no, Arrow can't touch that. Needs
on the
signature.
corner.
Just getting the KO. Reaper is an entire stock ahead, and this is a bit scary.
Yeah, that had to be pixels right there that Arrow lost. Okay, Okay, Reaper!
Oh! Okay, no.
Okay.
Arrow made it back, and now Reaper is stumbling.
No, Arrow.
And now Arrow's stumbling. Oh no! Arrow is gone from all that. After all that engagement, it is Reaper that gets out on top for game 1.
I am just confused as to why Arrow decided to go all the way back down
I'm just
there.
as confused as what you are.
He literally
Like, what did you
escaped.
witness?
He escaped from hell. He escaped from hell. He went back to heaven, and then he went back down to hell. And I'm just a bit confused there because he did not have a weapon. I don't know what he was cooking.
I don't know. I felt like he was cooking sludge, but maybe some more intergalactic supers coming out for Arrow as he swapped over to the Artemis? Are we crazy? Maybe a little bit. Well, that's okay. He's picking up the Lance, which not the favorite matchup into Qatar's, which oh no, try to get the read, got so close to it. There's another one. Oh, try to go for a neutral signature when Arrow was not jumping. He wasn't jumping. I'm gonna go under the bar, thank you very much. And he is finding a couple good, nice Lance Nairs. Try to find something a little bit more there, but oh no, the down is gonna take out Arrow's recovery, and Reaper, just like game number 1, has the advantage.
And I do think there is something to say about whether Qatar, you know, I would put it in the way of the Qatars into Lance, but I think it's one thing to say Lance and another thing to say Artemis, because this character is a monster, especially with that Lance side sig. How much damage it does, how early it KOs, how much you can spam it and get away whiffing it. But you know, the Scythe on high speed is monstrous as well, because you bring your opponent off stage, they try to get back, and you're moving in the air faster than they do. So yeah, it's a hellhole that they just can't escape almost.
At the moment, there's a lot of damage built up onto Arrow, and it's gonna take only a downlight recovery for an entire stock to be in the favor of Reaper, including in damage. Arrow's gonna have to find something a little bit, but not when your dodge has been picked up. He does manage to get away out of the recovery, but Reaper's finding a little bit of footage. He gets a dodge back just in time to be able to touch. Arrow almost had the gimp, but now it's Reaper there on the edge himself. Oh, try to find another down signature, but no.
Okay.
Reaper doesn't have enough to make it back, which there is a stock in Arrow's favor. There is a stock in his favor.
I mean, respect to Reaper for going for style points, but, you know, like, I wouldn't want to beat Reaper on the edge here without a dodge against a 9-speed Scythe character. Or an 8-speed. I didn't quite catch the stat. Especially, like, in this position. Okay, Arrow's gonna have to find his way back. Gonna get KO'd. But, again, Reaper took, you know, yeah, maybe a little cheeky there, but I personally wouldn't take that risk on your last stock at least. You know, second stock, do whatever you want. Last stock, got a little bit nervous there, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and now Arrow on tournament game has switched to Sidra. We've gone, I can't even remember the first legend he played, but we went from Kaya to
3, 2,
Artemis
1, brawl.
to Sidra. I mean, either Arrow has an entire buffet, or he just can't decide what to eat. And let's be honest,
he
it's
does have a
probably
buffet.
both.
He does have a
the
buffet. He has many characters that he can play. You know, like, he's capable of playing on this cannon. I've seen him play on this cannon. I think he's played in 2 tournaments on this cannon. But I don't know if it's enough to go into this Asuri.
Oh, he does get the dodge. Can't get the confirmed side air, and Reaper punishes with the ground pound. What happened there?
He might have the buffet, but he's eating sword.
He is just eating a sword into the face as he got sent down underground. At the moment, Arrow might try and find a KO pretty soon. A downlight recovery or a downlight Sam. Maybe two of them would do it, but not if Reaper's Katars are just going absolutely insane at the moment. Picks up the dodge again, picks it up again. That recovery not enough to get the KO. Arrow makes his way back down to the stage, now swapping over to the sword. Arrow dodging that Sam nicely. Arrow with the edge guard himself, but without a weapon. Reaper try to find the recovery after the dare downlight into the neutral air on the cannon. Is going to get the KO for Arrow, but it's not looking that great for him. I'm going to be honest, not looking great at all for Arrow. He's going to have to find a crazy read or a very early KO to be able to bring this one back into any form of favor. And Reaper's just told him, hey, you need a different flavor of ice cream if you want to be accepted into this parlor, baby.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like, I think with Cannon, like, there is the style where you get an amazing strength, but I think rather what Arrow needs to do here is edgeguard Reaper, because in my personal opinion, I think Katars does not have an easy time getting back to stage, especially if it's short, like, weapon range, and especially when you're Sidra and you just kind of can sit, like, on the edge like that and just spam your end sig and spam your end light. So, yeah, I think, like, the type of playstyle here that Arrow needs to adopt is one where he brings Reaper into these pockets on the sides of the stage, knocks him off, and then kind of traps him there with these edge guards. But might be a little bit too late because Arrow is red on his tournament stock, and Reaper's just one string away from KOing. Probably an unarmed recovery here is going to KO.
There is a lot that he could do potentially, and it's the GC down signature, which means that Reaper, another 3-0 in the losers bracket. Reaper is sending on through. Arrow is out of the tournament. GG's to him, as well as 1.31. Both of them finish in 7th, and it's dominance from Reaper. That's all I have to say. Pure dominance from Reaper.
Definitely. I mean, I like watching that Katars gameplay. It was fluid, it was clean, it was precise. If we look at the damage, like, Reaper's doing nearly double what Arrow did. And yeah, look at the weapon damage. Nearly 444. Nearly three the same number in a row on one singular weapon. I mean, that's to be expected. Katars is your string weapon. It does do a lot of damage. Definitely better at tearing up your opponent than sword. And yeah, it's just, from my point of view, it just looks like Arrow couldn't find any hits, couldn't get any strings started, and that's kind of like your downfall on Cannon, because you can kind of poke with it. That is true. You have that end light, but I wouldn't recommend it. I definitely feel like you really capitalize in your damage when you get like high damage off of strings, or you carry your opponent all the way to the side of the stage.
Yeah, the other thing that I kind of want to point out about a lot of this is, if you manage to catch your eye, Arrow had 0% of heavy attacks hitting his opponent in that last game. Yeah. Which you kind of need to be able to land a lot of your heavy attacks to be able to get knockouts. Granted, the knockout that Arrow did manage to catch was with a neutral air, with the true combo on the cannon, but you know, if you compare to, I know that Reaper threw out a lot of heavy attacks and signature attacks, but 29% accuracy is way better than 0% accuracy.
Yeah, and I mean, Arrow only threw out 4. Reaper had the opportunity to throw out 24 or 29, I think. So yeah. Again, maybe Arrow could have taken a little bit more risks, tried to threaten more space, play a little bit more back, but that's done. This is over. We're now going on to Keith versus Sphinx, and I think this is for...
This is elimination quarters.
Elimination quarters.
This one.
6th place.
We are for the top 6. Here we are underway with it. It looks like Keith has decided that Teska is just an absolute no-show for the rest of this tournament. He's sticking on the Bodvar at the moment. Sphinx still on that Ryu, which it might be looking very nice for him at the moment. He managed to do a lot of cooking on 1.31, but at the moment, it's Keith's turn to be in charge of the fire. it's his turn to be in charge of the kitchen. He's racking up a lot of damage with this hammer. Try to find another side air and again, but Sphinx managing to get a little bit of a punish. Couldn't quite extend the full dodge read. The recovery there. Another one picking up the dodge. Another GC neutral signature from Sphinx. He's crazy.
I mean,
he's crazy.
He's
my
these
word.
end sigs are just like he's taken all of these like reads off of gauntlets and just consistently KOing off of the top. I wish there was a statistic that allowed us to see, you know, post stream like how many KOs were like on which side of the kill box, because I'm fairly certain that Sphinx's statistics are gonna show us that they're all on the top, or at 99%. And as I say that, he eats a sword ground pound, but he does about like 60 damage, 70 damage to Keith here. You know, he's gonna tear it up on the ore and then probably switch to gauntlets to get another Ensig recovery KO.
Yeah, both weapons are very good at finding the KO. Probably Gauntlet's a little better than Orb because...
Yeah, I would argue even in its nerf state.
Oh, there's a down air and Sphinx has an entire stock lead. That was a very nicely timed down air to catch Keith on the ledge. And getting the grounded variant of that down air, as now Sphinx has he's got this entire game to play with, but Keith is it's Keith's turn to have a go on the Xbox, son, because he's mincing up with the sword at the moment. Sphinx tried to catch the dodge with that down air, but wasn't meant to be. Down air there from Keith, not hitting. Sphinx with a punish. Down like side air, not able to get it pulled off. Try to go for another GC, but nothing happening. Sphinx is running a little bit of damage. He's trying to kick Keith off the Xbox. Mum doesn't know anything. At the moment, Keith trying to find a down air there. Sphinx makes his way back down light into the recovery. It's going to put Sphinx on his last stock. But there's a lot of damage built up onto Keith. He is priming the sword. The hammer doesn't seem to be doing him a lot of favors, especially against two weapons that are potentially just too quick for it. Sphinx trying to get a triple sidelight on Gauntlet's almost paid off.
Almost paid off. I mean,
racking up the damage on the sword right now, trying to find some more. And not anything of both of them stuck in neutral. A side air poke from Keith. Recovery found by Sphinx. Another one. Not going to get the KO just yet on Apocalypse.
Sphinx is moving. I really like his movement and positioning. But again, he has the hammer now, which is a KO kill weapon. Like, I think 2 stomp stairs here are gonna KO. And okay, that's the dodge burn. That's the dodge burn. Calm down, son. Calm down, son.
Oh.
He's just fishing. He's fishing for these recoveries off of these vertical kill options, and there we
Keith
go.
Is getting the punish for it. He's brought a lot of this damage back. Tried to go for a ground pound, which wasn't going to be able to connect. Side air does though, as he swings a couple of them out, hoping Sphinx landed into one of them. But the side air on Sphinx on that orb is going to get the KO as Sphinx puts himself 1 up against Keith.
And if you're Sphinx, you gotta be like, wait, I want to see in this replay, because if you're Sphinx, like, did you see that weapon spawn on the last stock? I'm fairly certain that like he was praying to BMG that entire time, and that weapon just came down. Like, yeah, look at this! Look at this!
That's
my guy was literally praying to Foda right there, and Foda delivered him a weapon. Alright, maybe just a bit of RNG, but at the end of the day, Sphinx, like, if we take a look at the damage numbers, damage is fairly even, and he threw out 17 signature attacks and had a 41% hit accuracy, which to me is you're taking the most risks and you're delivering on your opportunities.
Yeah, at the moment this is a little bit of a surprise to me. We have the legend swap for Keith. He's on the Asuri now. Just I said it in game 1, the hammer just wasn't gonna be able to do anything into the orb or the gauntlets picking, and he's picked something that's potentially a little more in the favor with the katars instead. At the moment, damage is a bit even as Sphinx finds almost 4 side airs in a row. Keith now, he's put himself towards the edge. now back into the zone of neutral. Another side air there from Sphinx. Try to find a down air. Keith with a weapon throw. Try to find some setups here potentially. Dodges through that. There's a nair. Try to find the recovery again. Has nothing. Punishes Keith. He's balling. He was balling.
Ooh.
The weapon throw KO again from Sphinx.
And that was narrow
from downtown. Swish the bucket. Thank you.
And that was a very narrow like KO there. I swear, like, oh, okay, Sphinx. I think he's gonna die for this.
Sphinx,
yeah, and he died.
Sphinx might, yeah, Sphinx the weapon throw. It was very nice edge guard by Keith, which Sword is. It's one of the things that Sword is really good at. It has a balanced game. It is good at everything, and being able to convert edge guards into KOs is definitely one of them. It has theirs, it has ground pounds, it has a side air that sends, has a little bit of an angle downwards, and it has the kit to be able to do what it needs to do at the moment.
And yeah, we are gonna see this gauntlets into guitars matchup, which, you know, if you've been playing Brawlhalla for some time, for the longest time this has been a terrible matchup. Like, Guitars wins this every time, and in the state Guitars is right now, and what has just happened to gauntlets, I don't think I would personally play gauntlets under any circumstances with Guitars, and that's why you're just not gonna be able to land. You're not gonna be able to find hits. Guitars is just too fast for any of your quick gauntlet options, which are too short range. You know, and we're talking about two short range weapons here, but like, Guitars just has the edge, quite literally, over gauntlets.
Yeah, we're seeing that matchup a lot, especially with that last stock. Keith was just able to run a bit rampant a little bit. Sphinx now, he does get the sidelight Sair. Damage is even. It is one game here to Sphinx. The stock's even a piece. Not a lot of damage has been put onto Sphinx on his last stock, and Keith is gonna. Both players are hoping to potentially, you know, catch some dodges, catch their ways, catch the riffs. At the moment, they're just trying to stick themselves out in neutral currently. Or sidelight not picking up. Keith makes his way back on stage.
Yeah.
Nairs trying to fish for it. Sphinx catches the dodge, trying to go for the huge GCN sig again, but Keith punishing instead. Both of them now back down on the ground.
I really don't like this gauntlets into Guitars matchup. It makes me so nervous. I really want Sphinx to swap over to the orb, but I'm honestly not even sure how much better this is gonna do. As I say that, you know, Keith is gonna be on the sword into the orb. I think Sword has an advantage here. Honestly, both weapons go even. Oh, that was an opportunity for a recovery
something on the platform, helping Sphinx out there. Try to find, he's found the neck. Side air, not enough to get the KO. Try to haymaker himself again. A recovery, and Sphinx takes game 2.
And his Sphinx's spacing is going off right now. So, like, what he's doing is he's like baiting Keith to kind of go over his head. He thinks that he's trying to convince Keith that he's gonna move like far forward enough where he can hit Sphinx with a side air on his sword. But as we see, he kind of baits it out, moves back, jiggles, and then instantly recovers in the air, and that's how he's confirming a lot of these like vertical options right here.
Yeah, and Keith at the moment is on tournament game with Sphinx 2 to the good for him. Keith finding a huge ground pound, just straight up wake up into the ground pound with no dodge. Yeah, that's fine, that's okay, nothing wrong with that at all. Sphinx trying to find some more hits there, try to go for that GC, but it's going to get himself punished with almost the third recovery. He finds one of his own, which disarms Keith. Neutral signature, not enough to get the KO just yet. Now swaps over to the orb, try to get back onto the gauntlets instead. The breakdance, Keith avoids it in time. Now swapping over to the guitars against Sphinx's gauntlets. Maybe, is there a potential here for Keith to try and find a dodge? Almost catching the nair, but wasn't quick enough on it.
One thing I will say about the gauntlets and guitars matchup is that once you get the guitars player into kill percent, I don't mind the gauntlets guitars matchup as much. I really don't, because it really only takes one move on gauntlets, which is fairly easy to find in order to get this KO. Whereas on guitars, you're going to be struggling a lot more. And, you know, there we saw Keith getting disarmed into KO off the left side from a end light, which is, you know, there was a lot of damage on Keith. But here we are, Keith on the sword, going to need a recovery to KO. Let's see if he can fish for the D-light.
At the moment, it's Keith you're seeing him go for these downlights. You're seeing him go for a couple different things, but can't find anything as of yet. He has swapped over to the katars, which is probably not as efficient at KOing compared to sword. You're only really able to find pokes. He does get a GC downlight into the recovery on unarmed, but swapping over to the sword, Sphinx finds one of himself on the unarmed. The Sam, what in the world? Unarmed recovery again from Keith. That one finally getting the KO.
Yep,
And
I mean, both players, I mean, not too much damage on Keith. You know, he's starting to turn a little bit orange, but I think he's still ripe to go for like some of these more like risky options. You know, like Sphinx is definitely like, the movement is the main factor that's allowing him to. Oh, okay, game lag a little bit there, but yeah, Sphinx is definitely moving around a lot better than Keith is. And what I think Keith needs to do is kind of like stop. He's kind of sliding on ice, right? He's going a little bit too far. He's going a little bit too hard, and he kind of needs to dial back on the gas, specifically when it comes to his movement, because Sphinx is just is witnessing all of this, and he's capitalizing off of this. He's punishing movement, whereas Keith is only looking for like moves that have been thrown out rather than how his opponent's been moving.
Yeah, at the moment, Keith, he's gonna have to try and find. You're seeing him try and flail these recoveries, and none of them seem to be landing. He does catch a side air, sending Sphinx astray, but can't get the confirmed KO from the edge guard. Sends Sphinx all the way to the other side, catches the nair, can't find anything from here either. And now Sphinx, he does get KO'd eventually with the recovery on katars, which now Keith is priming to hope he is able to build up a lot of damage and keep himself alive in the bracket. And a couple different ways this could go from here. Try to catch himself with the sidelight recovery, dodged up again by Keith. Now again, oh, no dodge this time from Keith, and Sphinx reacts to it. Sidelight Sair, this is not looking good. On tournament stop here for Keith. Makes his way back. The Gauntlet Neutralite not KOing with that angle send. Now Keith gets neutralited again. That's going to get the KO, and Sphinx 3-0s Keith and puts himself into the elimination semifinals. Keith, ladies and gentlemen, is out of the tournament.
Yeah, I mean,
I never thought I'd be saying this so early on.
I mean, but you gotta give it to Sphinx. He, just looking back at it, looking at how confident he was moving, knowing where Keith was gonna go, knowing like how far he was gonna go, that's really what gave him his edge, more than like his reaction time, his punishes on moves that Keith was throwing out, because that's really not what we were seeing. We didn't see Keith whiff, like, and then get punished. I mean, we did, but that wasn't what was happening. We saw Keith move too much or input something that put him in a bad position, and we saw Sphinx waiting for that, looking for that, and just gunning for it. And I think that type of player that punishes that type of, like, punishes movement is gonna just find way more success than waiting for someone to just whiff or throw out a move and make a mistake. And it's just, I think that's what we saw there. First 3-0 of top 8.
And now we are going to go to the other elimination quarterfinal. It is Tiger and Reaper. Now, usually this is something that I would expect in like maybe a winner's final, maybe especially a couple of years ago, but a loser's quarter.
Whoa, hold up. They're matched in gold. Oh, because it counts twos. But still, I mean, you gotta hand it to Reaper. He has the same gold medals as Tiger now, which is something I did not expect to see. Because Tiger has had the most gold medals for the longest time.
He still has a lot though. Like, let's not discredit him.
Yeah.
He has way more than majority of people on this planet combined. So it's okay. But we are going on to APOC again for game number 1. Tiger has swapped off the Azoth. He's moved on to the Kaya, and we have Reaper on the Bryn instead. This is definitely a 2's pick that I have seen from Reaper before. I'm yet to see what it's gonna play out for in 1s though.
Yeah, I mean, Reaper was a Bryn player for a period of time.
Oh,
like
no, Tiger.
Wow.
Tiger's gone already. Not even 30 seconds in, and Reaper just.
I missed that.
Reaper just poked him. He just a couple pokey pokes. He turned the toothpick into, well, I guess a spear, and just poked him down. Just pushed him down into the little crevice of the mud. As Tiger gets a downsing on the boat, try to find a side air. That neutral signature not connecting as Reaper makes his way back, but not before getting downlight into the nair. Another side light from Tiger. Reaper getting a little bit of a punish. Both of these players trying to transcend themselves back into neutral. There's a side air, try to find the Pogo again. A lot of damage has been built up onto Reaper. That downlight into the ground pound on an arm is going to get the KO. Tiger has a little bit of momentum here, which he will hope can push him into Reaper getting rid of his stock. But Reaper had other plans. Reaper just had other plans. Got the axe and
okay.
Yeah, no, see ya, goodbye.
I feel like Tiger's a bit jinxed when it comes to the right side of the stage, because that's kind of happened twice already. So if I was Tiger, I'm only looking to KO from the left side now. The right side is not on the list of places I want to be.
Yeah, I mean, Tiger might seem like a superstitious man, but it can't be that bad. I mean, he's almost about to get KO'd on that left side of the stage, but now, try to find a neutral signature. Tiger pushes his way through. There's a lot of damage built up onto Tiger's last stock, and it isn't looking pretty when you're up against the Bryn or the Able. Try to find something. There is a nice side signature. That's going to end up getting the KO. So the hope is still alive for Tiger in this first game. But it's not pretty. It's not a pretty hope. It's kind of subpar kind of hope, if you understand. Down to KO. Game 1 goes to Reaper.
And the windmill is gonna take it.
Just spun him around. Just spun him right around. Spun him right around.
I think, you know, if I'm Tiger, I'm willing to write this one off because, no, I wouldn't use the word cheesed here, but I did kind of fumble a bit, and maybe I got a little bit like gimmicked on or cheesed on a little bit right there on at least 2 stocks. I wouldn't expect a legend swap coming out.
Yeah, I mean, it is a Moonin, which, look, Moonin's a little fun, little interesting character. Adds a little bit of spice in life, but one of Moonin's biggest deficits is being able to get the KO with 2 weapons that, you know, Bow exceptional at juggling, Scythe exceptional at just pushing the opponent wherever it wants to go and not exactly caring about stage control. You're gonna have to rely on your signature kit to be able to get your KOs a lot earlier, and that'll do it if your opponent dodges into your Bow and Sig and you have the lead straight off the bat with 30 seconds to go in the game. Excuse me?
Well, I mean, yeah, Tiger is the bow goat of Southeast Asia. I mean, this guy, like, Moonin has excellent bow sticks, so we can talk about bow not killing all you like, but I'm spamming that D-Sig, and I'm finding these hits after hits, and I'm not getting punished. Like,
we're trying to go for another recovery on Tiger. Oh my, and he turned the entire thing around. Reaper doesn't make it back, avoids another side sig. That's crazy. A bow side air there from Tiger, trying to find some more, and Reaper is gone. Tiger is 2 stocks up to the advantage.
And now, I've seen Tiger on the bow. I know it's deadly, but I also know, no shame to Tiger, but his scythe is horrible. I mean, I'm talking like ranked demons like perform better on scythe than Tiger. But maybe he's been cooking, because I haven't seen him on the game for a while, or I haven't been on for a while. So, no, honestly, maybe he's cooking. Maybe he has a scythe that we don't know about, that he's kept hidden. He's trained in the hidden forest. He's cooked up, and it's like this is his debut. But as I say that, we're gonna just see more bow gameplay.
We're just gonna see more,
which is fair.
And Reaper's given up. Game 2, goes to Tiger. It is 1-1 apiece here.
Yeah.
The bow movement, the bow went crazy for Tiger, and we're seeing the swap here from Reaper, moving on to the Zuko, keeping the spear, getting rid of the axe, and replacing it with a sword. So this is a little bit interesting. I'll be interested to see how this Zuko performs.
Well, I mean, the Hattori, the Zuko, very solid character. You know, like sword, spear, like spear got nerfed, but let's be honest, those changes didn't really do much. The weapon still plays pretty much the same. It's very solid at keeping your opponent at arm's length, especially when they're on this bow. But still, I mean, spear into bow, I'm imagining that bow takes that. And, you know, the sword is very solid as well. But this bow is just so much faster, so much better at dealing damage from far away. And as I say that, Tiger's taking an N6 to the face.
He does make it back, though. Oh, trying to find a down air, but Tiger,
how are you alive?
Above. GC side signature not punished there by Reaper. A ground pound. Can he make his way back? He cannot. Another ground pound there on the scythe by Tiger.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
And he completely reversed the game. He completely reversed the edge guard that was brought upon him, and it gave him the KO. Now Reaper has to try and find a little bit more here to be able to get this KO. Losing the spear, Tiger trying to get some juggles and keeping the weapon away from Reaper. Unarmed recovery is finally going to get the KO, punishing that neutral signature there from Tiger. Reaper is staying onto the sword, which is a little bit interesting here. Now, side signature.
Edge guard situation against Tiger on the Moonin is actually monstrous, because Tiger doesn't really have a strong edge guard game. A lot of Southeast Asia players know this. Like, he's a good player, he'll kill you off stage, but he doesn't like off stage, and he doesn't like kind of secure KOs when he can. So to see him on this Moonin doing that is new to me. And there we go, the N6 finally KOs, and you know, this should have happened on the first stock. But, you know, if you're Reaper, you're just going to take it now.
Yeah, Tiger's off stage is a little bit left to be desired, considered by a lot of the pros. So maybe potentially, you know, if you can manage to keep Tiger off stage, there's a scythe sider there from Tiger. He's going to try and confirm the KO, but he does let Reaper back up, but not before that bow downlight into the recovery gets him the KO. It is looking even here at the moment for both of these players. And Tiger keeping the weapon away from Reaper to keep himself in this tournament. Now Reaper onto the sword himself. Try to find a side air, punished. There's a side air there from Reaper, which does hit. Tiger makes his way back to stage as quick as he can. The ground pound! Reaper does make his way back. Can't punish that ground pound. Gets a side air, try to find some more, but not enough food left on the plate. Side light into the side air.
No recovery?
Tiger doesn't have enough. The ground pound's gonna confirm it. Reaper, it is in his favor. 2-1. Tiger is on tournament game.
Oh boy. I mean, yeah. Like, Reaper taking out Tiger. In the tournament that Reaper won, I don't think Tiger played in, actually. So this is Reaper's honestly first chance in a one tournament to take a lead over Tiger, or to tie up like that history that he has. So yeah, I mean, Reaper, you've been here before, you've fought against Tiger thousands of times, but have you ever like come this close to beating him in tournament? I don't think so.
There's a nice downlight into the set there from Reaper, trying to punish, but a lot of damage already built up. Oh no! Couldn't get the punish properly! Tiger with the taunt! Trying to find the side air, just missing it, and Reaper ended up paying for it with his stock.
Okay, so we're Dare's last one missed, and Tiger's like, you know, like I always see these combos, and Tiger's just always carrying his opponent to the other side of the stage while doing like 40 damage, like in total. And there we go, off stage. Okay, no
Not
recovery.
his favorite.
Unable
And
to,
he gets KO'd for it. Just wasn't able to touch the stage there. Reaper's gonna have to try and find a lot of damage here. He's in the orange at the moment. Gonna have to try and find something. He gets a little bit of a two-piece, but not before making a mistake, getting pushed off stage. Tiger coming back, side air, punishing the signature. Try to find another one. Nice juicy downline into the dare. Try to find the neutral air afterwards. Both of them keep themselves alive in this. Reaper has done really well to build up a lot of damage. Now Tiger moving over to the scythe. Finds a downlight, kicking Reaper away. Reaper makes his way back to stage. Now picking up the sword again. Gets it down here. Ooh, nice weight. Baits out Tiger's dodge with the movement. Catches a neutralite from it. Potentially could have gotten more. That weapon throw barely missed. That recovery barely missed. That signature barely hit as Reaper is put Tiger on tournament stock. But look at Reaper's health at the moment. It is in barbecue territory.
Yeah,
and he's now on his last stock.
Yeah, he eats the Infinity Gauntlet and he's unseasoned once again. Oh boy. Okay, but Tiger on the scythe. I want to see this. Can Tiger cook on the scythe? That is the question. I haven't seen him cook before. He is a bow player. And he's going even. I mean, this is pretty good.
At the moment, they're just seasoning the meat a little bit before they chuck it in the oven and let it burn. But Tiger does find, he's found a couple hits at the moment. Try to find another one, but at the moment, kind of going back and forth. It's in the way of Tiger and the damage. Makes his way all the way above. Can't find anything more than a downlight dare on the sword. Try to find a side air. That that side signature hitting, but Reaper does make his way back onto the stage. Try to find the recovery, can't find anything there. That neutral signature punish this time. It's not looking good for Tiger. Avoids the side signature, now has the edge guard. Reaper with the weapon throw makes his way back. A second weapon throw. The recovery, not able to get the KO just yet. Down air, try to find the side air again. Another weapon throw, try to get the recovery. Oh no! The Haymaker! And Reaper has knocked Tiger out and he's put himself in the elimination semis. Oh my days!
Okay.
The Haymaker finishes it off.
Like, was looking pretty. He kept eating throws. If you look at that, one after another, and then Haymaker. Oh, like. He kind of had this problem, like Tiger had this problem where he was just staying under Reaper, and Reaper was just securing his landings with these weapon throws, and he was able to just stay in the air, stay alive, and yeah, Scythe, like, you kind of have to go up, you can't just stay on the ground, you kind of have to go up to them and hit them at that damage if you want to KO, so yeah, a bit too close for comfort for me even, because I definitely saw that going in the way of Tiger. I definitely thought it was going to go Tiger's way. But yeah, good job, Reaper. You're moving on to the semifinals of of the losers bracket. So Tiger's out of the tournament.
Tiger's out of the tournament. GG's to him as well as Keith as they finish themselves in fifth. Going to go and top 4 very soon. Tiger trying to go all the way up high. Gets a sand punch. Himway's a mistake. Another sand. That's gonna. He knows, but does Himway know? Himway knows. Himway knows. There by Sphinx, and another one without the weapon. A lot of damage built up onto Error, and it's gonna take only a downlight.
I would argue even in its nerf state.
Oh, there's a down air. Side air again. Another weapon throw, trying to get the recovery. Oh no! The Haymaker! And There's another neutral air. Picks up the boots again. Tiger trying to go all the way up high. Gets to Sam. Himway's mistake. Another Sam. That's good from
hammer.
Tiger.
This is not good for Tiger because one swing here, rather than like focusing on minimizing his mistakes.
Oh no! There by Sphinx, and another one without the weapon. There is a lot that he could do potentially, and it's the GCD who's just able to run up and ramp it a little bit. Sphinx.
So to see him on this moon
Oh,
doing that
no.
is new to me. And there we. Yo, welcome back everyone. My throat's feeling a lot better after drinking some water. I hope you guys had some snacks during the break, and I hope you have some snacks now because you're gonna be munching while you're watching the best Brawlhalla gameplay of all time in this community tournament. And looking over the bracket right now, we have Himway versus Laz. Laz taking out Keith the Poo Poo, a major tournament winner, with Laz with no, I think, 1v1 top 8s to his name in major tournaments. So Laz is doing pretty good. He's in 3rd place right now, playing for second. And then if we take a look over at the losers or elimination bracket, we have Sphinx versus Reaper, which is going to be pretty interesting because Sphinx just 3-0'd Keith and Reaper just 3-1 Tiger. So both players are feeling pretty good about themselves. But again, we're back to Himway and Laz in the winner's side, and we're going to be going to Brawlhaven. Quite frankly, I've had enough of this map. How about you, Gary?
I've been a Queen Eye player, and I hate any map that has just like large off stage. So Brawlhaven is fine for me. PR2 and the Himway on the Cassidy? Excuse me. Are you feeling alright, Himway? And Laz PR15. He's sticking with the Jala in this winners final. Guaranteed top 3 downlight neutral signature. Still a true combo thanks to the lovely 8 dexterity of Cassidy. At the moment, Himway has a lot more damage to his name. Nice GC downlight into the Sair there from Laz, but eats a bit of the lasso. Eats a bit of that flamingo. Tries to find another one. Laz, he does touch. Insane, but he's not going to be able to handle it anymore. Stomp side air from Himway.
I'm never gonna complain about someone playing Hammer on Cassidy because quite frankly she's the only character, or one of the only characters that make it really viable in the current meta. And her guns, I mean, her guns probably isn't the best kit, but it's a very stable kit. And yeah, you're gonna be wanting to use you're gonna be wanting to use the hammer here because the kill potential on the Sigs, not that one, that one's terrible, but on the other Sigs they're amazing.
That's a nice GC and light there from Laz, but it's not going to get the KO. He is an entire stock behind. Stomp Sair. That's going to get the KO. For some reason, that KO'd a lot earlier than I thought it would. But what am I thinking? Hammer had its Sair buffs. It had it reverted. Now Himway is on these blasters. Nice GC downlight into that neutral air there from Himway. Ooh, that picked up the dodge. Try to find the side glide after the 2-piece.
Oh, a bit of a clash. I didn't quite expect that there. I thought Laz would have got the Sair.
Oh no, picked up the dodge. Himway try to find the recovery. GC downlight from Laz manages
somehow
to
connects. Yeah.
Look, Laz has got a long way to go before he is able to take this game for himself. And Laz is a stomp Sair away. Oh wait, whoa, Himway. Whoa, Himway. Let's relax a little bit. Flamingo tries to find another one. Himway.
Can someone check Himmway's control right now? Can someone check his account? Because he's playing like Dolan right now. With the way that he's just like going down there and like absolutely annihilating the lower off stage. Because yeah, I'm just thinking about Dolan whenever I see that because there's only one player in this region that does that. But you know, Himway, if you want to make it interesting, you want to be the second one. Like I'm all for it. Because that is just that's fun to watch.
Game 1 goes in Himway's way. We are on Demon Island, which it doesn't seem to be a map that we've seen a whole lot of today. But no changes from either party at the moment. Nice downlight there. Laz try to find the down air after the sideline, not able to connect. Himway punishing Laz's GC from earlier. Straight up goes for the ground pound. Laz isn't able to punish. Does get a side air though. A lot of damage is being built up onto Laz from these blasters, and now Himway able to swap over to the hammer. Stomp Sair. not able to get the KO just yet. In fact, it will get the KO. Laz doesn't have enough to be able to touch the wall.
I see a lot of, when Himway does the D-Light reverse, chase dodge reverse nair, I see a lot of whiff end lights, and I don't think he means to end light there. I actually think he means to dash jump nair, which tells me that, yes, hammer is obviously Himway's stronger weapon, but maybe Laz needs to, like, try and disarm Himway a little bit more. Play a little bit more backplay, a little bit more passive against his hammer, because this stuff is, it's so fast, it hits so hard, and just like that, you blink and you miss it. You're like, your options are gone. You're just off stage and you're lost in the sauce.
This Himway is he isn't cooking Laz. He is burning him to a crisp. We're still seeing it. Like, look, he's toasted. He's roasted. He's done. Just give him some air, Himway. Give him some breathing space. He now picks up the sword, does Laz. Can't find the side, find that down, like, can't find another one. Side air, not able to get the KO just yet. Himway making his way back. Unarmed recovery though, gonna take the KO for Laz. At least it's not a 3-stock, but
yeah, at least it's not a 3-stock, but oh boy, the Cassidy is, it's hitting hard, man. It's hitting hard and it's cooking.
Oh my god.
What is that?
Himway! Hey, if that KO'd, I would have been screaming. Now that's gonna KO,
that's
surely.
Gonna KO, and Laz is gonna be out of there.
2-0 up. He is him.
He
is Himway for a reason.
That game took 2 minutes, like 2 minutes and 8 seconds.
Like, we're seeing the EU swap from Laz. We're seeing the Macho Man. Just straight up default Macho Man.
Yeah, Laz does play Macho Man, he does, but I wouldn't exactly advise this pick into Cassidy. Like, you're gonna be living a lot better with that higher defense, for sure. You're gonna have weapons that are gonna hurt Himway a lot more, but you see, when you play Lance into guns or guns into axe, I still think hammer wins the axe matchup, by the way. But Lance into guns specifically, or Lance into hammer, like, it doesn't work. Like, I don't think it works for me. It's really difficult. And as I say that, Laz is just hitting Sares, and he's getting all of these hits.
Just hitting Sares with his axe at the moment. Himway is still cooking a little bit. What is he doing? He's just moving around with his hammer. He's making it look like the hammer never got nerfed at all at the moment. Stomp into the lasso. Still a true combo, by the way. Maybe potentially gonna find another one. Can't find it from there. Now picking up the lance. GC downlight not punished. Laz gets side edge. Has enough defense. What? GC sidelight from all the way out there.
Oh, it's not that serious.
Gonna get the KO.
It's not that serious. What is Himway doing to Laz? Like, Laz is probably just sitting there trying, like, and like, how does he keep
just
hitting me? Like,
breathe, bro.
you can't keep doing this to me, bro. You can't keep doing this to me.
He can't keep getting away with this. Which he isn't getting away with it at the moment. At the moment, the stocks are a bit even. Laz's Macho Man axe has been doing himself a bit of favors here currently. Try to find that neutral air. Ooh, nice end stick there from Laz. Now he has the edge guard potential, but he lets Himway back up onto the stage. Finds a downlight. Try to find some more. There's a GCM light.
Right. Okay, Laz off stage. Okay, recovery from the bottom is gonna KO. Himway's gonna be 1 stock behind. But yeah, Laz could honestly do a lot of damage, could capitalize a lot on this stock. But that's only if he actually can touch Himway. Because the way he's looking right now, okay, he gets 3 hits in. Okay, here we go.
He's getting some more.
You can't do that, but the way he's looking for me right now.
Laz
okay,
is,
every time it looks one.
Yeah, every time it looks one way for me, Laz just like curses me, man. Laz is just stepping up. I think that's what it is. Laz is just actually stepping up. Stomp side air. That's gonna get the KO. Himway just dancing all the way out there. And he is gonna prime the hammer. He is gonna keep it to himself. He tries he does his best to avoid a lot of Laz's hits at the moment. Early on, side air on the axe. Not able to get the KO just yet. Himway making his way back. Nicely avoided that neutral light, but another Sair is going to get the KO, and Laz, he has a game up to himself at the moment. And it is the Macho Man. Himway has moved on to Kaya? Interesting.
Kaya?
I mean, look, it's not like it's a bad pick, but from Cassidy to Kaya is a little bit interesting.
Okay, well, he does have some wiggle room. I mean, Laz is gonna need to win. What is it? He's gonna need to win two more games in a row. He's gonna need to get the reverse Rio sweep in order to beat Himwee. So Himwee has, like, maybe he sees something. I do think bow into axe or bow into lance, like, bow is gonna do pretty well. Spear's definitely a great weapon for keeping. I think Spear wins the axe matchup. Like, it's hard, but if you know how to play it, I definitely think Spear is the winner in the axe matchup. So I do understand this pick from a technical point of view, from a looking at weapons point of view, but just from, like, how Kaya plays into Macho Man, I'm not too sure.
Oh, that's a nice GC down stick from Himwee. And he's trying to try to find another one. Laz does pick up the lance though. Recovery gone. Send him up to the skies. Try to find another GC down signature, but wasn't hitting. Side light nair. Try to find a GC anti of his own. Laz with a side air. Tries to keep Himwee on the edge guard, but ground pound after the whiff of the down light. Himwee, he's gonna keep himself onto the bow. This game, just like the last one, is a little bit more even than the first two, so maybe a little bit scary for Himwee. Oh, try to get the dodge read, try to find another one. Himwee has had on this bow the ability to try and catch these dodges, but he just seems a little bit too late on it. Himwee, he is gonna pick up the spear instead. Nice neutral air after the, oh my goodness. Himwee's doing a little bit. Laz has tried to reply with his own answer.
Yeah, I mean, like, Himwee can get like 3 hits and and so Himwee will get like 2 hits in, and Laz will hit him once, and again they just go even because axe does a bit more damage than these bow hits. But
oh, that connects.
Oh, okay,
that
Himwee.
connects.
Okay, Himwee. But
Himwee is 1 game away from putting himself in grand finals, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
He's one stock away from putting himself into grand finals.
And I mean, yeah, Laz, like, I wasn't too sure about his ability to play Macho Man into this Kaya matchup.
No.
And yeah, I just, from a technical, like, perspective, like, I don't, like, see the Macho Man into Kaya.
Oh, that ends up connecting. Laz is still alive on this winner's side of the bracket if he's able to get a quick KO now, but he's pretty close to getting himself into the red. That neutral signature almost connecting. Himwee has the edge guard. Try to find a down air. Laz avoids. Side light nair by Laz. Try to find a GCN light.
Laz really needs to steal his nerves here because it's not going to take a lot. It's going to take 1 right here to kill. And, ooh, he had him in a kind of precarious position right now. The slide windmill. The down signature is going to KO. And
he puts himself into grand finals. And he sent Laz down into the loser's side of the bracket. Oh my word. Maybe a little bit of a stare there for Himwee in those last 2 couple games, but he gets through relatively unscathed. 3-1 is what puts him into the grand finals. But now we are on to the loser side of the bracket. It is the elimination semifinals. It is Sphinx up against Reaper.
Yeah, and again, going back to Laz and Himwee, Laz gets a second chance, right? You did pretty good, but now you're gonna have to probably worry about who's coming next because honestly, I wouldn't want to fight Sphinx or Reaper. Both are incredible players. They both move incredibly well. Sphinx is one person to pay attention to. But honestly, in this matchup between Sphinx and Reaper, in their player history, you're gonna see a 1-4. Reaper taking it has a 3 set lead. over Sphinx. So, you know, like, I would put it in the way of Reaper, but honestly, I really like Sphinx today, so I'm gonna just maybe cope a little or hope a little and put my money on Sphinx. Because this Petra, this Ryu coming out, I really like it.
Look, this Lucian swap from Reaper is a little bit interesting. We saw him on the Asuri earlier today, but taking out the sword and swapping it for guns, which you know the blasters aren't that bad of a weapon, but it's a bit of an interesting swap from my perspective at the moment. To go to something that's a bit consistent to maybe something that could potentially KO earlier, but still a little bit dangerous. Although Lucian does have a very good signature kit, which if Reaper is able to land, a down signature off stage, or a juicy neutral signature like that off the reads, it's gonna carry him a long way, and it's even gonna carry him to taking the first stock after a little bit of a deficit.
Yeah, I mean, with this low attack, Reaper's gonna have trouble finding some KOs on these light attacks. Even things like delay and Sega on guns, it's just gonna be difficult to hit. But the other side of that is he has an amazing signature kit. That's not very punishable, especially with things like B-Sig, things they're very good at finding hits, especially off of reads, which is the kind of playstyle you need on Reaper. And like that, he's keeping Sphinx at an arm's length on this edge, looking for some hits. Okay, Sphinx doesn't quite get that.
Yeah, the GC got burnt, couldn't find the hit as Reaper managed to get underneath it. He got a bit of a two-piece. That GC down signature again. It's now finding a couple of these nice little blaster hits, just a nice little tidbit here and there. Side signature, sending Sphinx all the way to the other side. Doesn't have a dodge, has nothing, gets KO'd, and Reaper, he's really looking nice at the moment.
Yeah, again, this Guitars into Gauntlets matchup, I don't understand why Sphinx takes this when he doesn't have a damage, he doesn't have a KO potential. But I'm not playing, I'm not in the game. I don't respect this decision, but I respect the player. And if he has a game plan, if he has a vision that we're not seeing, then, I mean, he's gonna show us. But again, right here, I'd rather be playing the orb and just keeping Reaper away, maybe poking him a little, because this high-speed Guitars character that Reaper has is just a menace, and it's just tearing Sphinx up, especially while he's on this Gauntlets. Okay.
Yeah, now, at the moment, Reaper really does get a downlight into that recovery, not able to get the KO just yet. GC down signature, that's gonna do it. Reaper 1 up at the moment. It's really good game coming out from Reaper, finding a lot of those hits, finding a decent amount of hits, especially with those signatures, getting the reads. Nice little blaster tidbit cameos coming out here and there. 546 damage on the Guitars. So he's definitely playing Lucian for Guitars.
And again, I did say that while Guitars was kind of in the bin a little bit, Reaper was a guns player. He's probably the best guns player in C. Followed closely behind by me, of course. But yeah, he was the best guns player in C for a while. So both weapons he's highly skilled on. Both were his main weapons at one point in time. And Sphinx, this is Sphinx's. I don't know who he mains now. It seemed to me like he was maining Ryu, but yeah, this Mordex is what he's more known for, what he's more iconic for. I still don't know about Gauntlets into Guitars or even into guns. And yeah, the Scythe into guns matchup is pretty explainable. Scythe wins that if you bring them off stage. But I don't think he's going to get that opportunity here.
Yeah, Sphinx definitely was someone that played a lot of Mordex around, as Reaper does find that KO on the guns, on the blaster neutral signature, which if Reaper is able to find just a couple little bit of these tidbits with the scythe, then he might do okay. But a lot of that will be, you know, trying to bring Reaper off stage, trying to pressure him off stage, try and just make sure that Reaper is aware of the options that he does have, which would be huge for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's really gotta be like, oh, okay, yeah.
Oh no.
That's not good.
That takes the KO.
Sphinx really needs to be aware though of like his reach. Like Tars has a like surprising amount of reach, especially like when you get hit on the tip, and he needs to kind of stay under Reaper because again, like sure the falling stair like gauntlet, he has to like. It's gonna be almost impossible, I think, for Sphinx to approach from a horizontal standpoint. Especially like, look at this!
Oh
look
my
at
goodness
this.
gracious!
Look at how good Reaper is on both weapons. Like
that is insane!
Just
You get the KO with that!
like what in that sequence? Where did Sphinx have a chance? Like Reaper had it downloaded, had it locked in. He torrented Sphinx overnight. He like he just processed Sphinx. Like Sphinx is just in the noggin of Reaper.
I have to point out that last game there was 500 damage on the Katars and less than 100 on blasters, and that most recent game there was 100 on blasters, no, 100 on Katars and almost 500 on the blasters. Sphinx does swap now over onto the Ryu again on tournament game here, and he has built up a lot of damage onto Reaper already thanks to a lot of that work from the orb. Both of the players just whiffing a little bit in the neutral there, trying to find a recovery, try to find a second one, not able to connect either. Oh, Reaper tried to go for a huge read, but wasn't able to connect that down sig. Nice neutralite into the end sig again from Reaper. Gets sided. That weapon throw not able to connect. Sphinx now picking up the gauntlets, hoping to try and fish for a recovery really soon. Finds the sidelight, can't pick up the dodge. Sphinx not having enough. Recovery gets taken. Sphinx, both of them with GC, can't get punished. That neutral signature just hitting. Now Reaper onto the, trying to prime the Katars. Sphinx can't find the KO option. He does now with that neutralite, barely taking the KO.
And that went on for
the
so
first time
long.
in this set is leading.
Yeah, that sequence went on for so long. Reaper like definitely had a deficit there, but he's managed to make it back. Let's see if we can find the KO here, because that's going to be huge for Reaper if he wants to take this in a, you know, nice and clean 3-0 fashion. The second 3-0 of top 8. So yeah, like damage is even up. Sphinx unarmed. Reaper has an opportunity here to make massive damage. Even Sphinx picking up the gauntlets, Reaper still has an incredible opportunity to just slice and dice, mince and tear up Sphinx into a nice, like, you know,
Just a
dish,
nice
just a nice dish, just a nice, you know, gourmet sandwich.
But who the hell wants a gourmet sandwich when you can have sushi? Sushi is just gourmet sandwich.
The 3-0 sandwich, you know?
Oh yeah, 3-0 sandwich. That's a better sandwich. Why have sushi when you can have a 3-0 sandwich?
Exactly. 1, 2, 3, 3 components.
Yeah, but at the moment, Sphinx is gonna try and be the Karen and refuse the order, because the 3-0 sandwich to him maybe has a little bit too much mayo on it, and he asked for something a little bit spicy, and definitely Reaper the chef is giving it to him at the moment. Both of these players even in this game 3. This is Sphinx's tournament game. He is so close to tournament stock here. It would take a downlight recovery on the blasters for that to happen. Try to find the GC side signature. It does find a D-Sig, but it isn't going to get the KO on Sphinx just yet. Downlight recovery. Tournament stock here for Sphinx.
Yeah, and I'm biting my nails here if I'm Sphinx. Like, it's just this okay. It's evened up, but again, this Lucian from Reaper is relentless. It's merciless, and it's grilling the heck out of me. Like Reaper is just cooking, and Sphinx is unable to send this back to the kitchen. Like, it is not going back to the kitchen because this shit, like, yeah. Sphinx,
it's too good. No complaints from anyone else. As downlight Sair there on the blasters, try to find a GC. Not punished though by Sphinx. Another side light, can't find the side air again. GC downlight into the Sair. Can't find anything else. Downseek! That's gonna do it! 3-0 for Reaper to put himself into the losers final. GG there to Sphinx as he bows out at 4th. But very well done there by Sphinx to push through a huge train through the loser side of the bracket, as well as Reaper. But it is Reaper who bested the man in the end, and now he's got to step up to the altar in the losers final against Laz, who has towered his way through, with Himwe being the only person able to stop him so far. But can Reaper double down on that as well and send himself into the grand finals, or will Himwe be seeing Laz again?
I love watching this Lucian, and I want to see more of it next game. But as we know, we have Laz waiting for Reaper, and you know, we've seen a bit of Laz's picks. He was on Maggie, Brawlhalla. He was on Macho Man, Algrim. Was there another pick that he was on? Because I haven't seen a Koji from him yet.
I haven't seen the Koji from him yet either.
Yeah.
So he is confident with the Maggie. Potentially the picks against Himwe were just for Himwe. As we go into the bans now, Reaper is keeping himself on the Brim instead of the Lucian. So potentially just, you know, not picking legends because he can play them, but potentially just picking legends for the occasions. Maybe he believes that the Brin will be able to deal damage maybe a little bit easier against, maybe a bit more of a glass cannon-y type, very tanky with the axe and with the sword. The axe, you know, will be what we get in this losers final, but will it be enough for either party to proceed? Now both players here out. They brought themselves back to stage. Reaper with a down air, try to find another one. That GC managing to hit in the end. There's a nice downlight there from Laz. He has been finding a lot of these downlights kind of just out of the blue, which is a really nice anti-air effect on the axe. That neutral signature, not enough to get the KO earlier, but Laz couldn't complete the edge guard, which may prove costly as we move down later on into the game. The down sick there, not connecting with the wake up. GC burnt. And we'll try to find that downlight. Ooh, nice there into the nice pogo into the Sair there from Reaper. Laz, that side air, that's the edge guard confirmed from Reaper, which, if anything about this game, it'll be the edge guards and the neutral game, especially with the two weapons that these players have here. If they are able to convert,
if that was the right way, if that was to the right, I'm pretty sure that would have KO'd, and Laz would have found himself on his last stock in the first game. Oh boy. But it's not that. That's
it would have been impressive, but wasn't meant to be. Nice set into the neutral light there from Reaper. Downlight, another one found by Laz. Nice neutral air there. Laz trying to work his way back around as Reaper misses the down air. Try to find a neutral signature, not punished. Another downlight hit by Laz. Side sig, not punished. And Laz doesn't have enough to make his way back to stage. Laz is on last stock right now. And it's looking really good for him.
It's looking good for Reaper.
It's looking good for Reaper. They both have axe, okay? Look, they might be completely different. Oh, it's down signature hitting. Laz has brought it back here. See, I told you, I was right. I was just looking into the future. Skiff, I don't know what you're on about. Totally didn't mess up the name at all. I'm just looking into the future. I know what's happening. And I'm telling you right now, that big read coming out. Oh, almost. It's nice sidelight into the nair there, but can't find anything else. Try to find some more dodge reads, dodge patterns. Hopefully trying to scut their way out. Another neutral signature there from Laz. Try to find the sidelight. Can't catch anything else from it. There's a down air. Side signature. Neither of those 6 hitting. Oh, try to find the recovery, but no, Laz getting out of the way in time. Another down dodge there from Laz. Oh no.
What is going on with Hala?
Both of these players whiffing. But
The nair doesn't even KO.
Look at Laz's health. He is in burgundy. The neutralite there. A nair there.
I'm pretty sure a D-Light's gonna kill at this point. No, I'm kidding.
Just a D-Light on Spear would KO at this point, but it's Laz that's gonna win out in the end. Reaper just couldn't find the KO, and it cost him. And now we're seeing the swap. He's gotten rid of the axe. He is on the Zuko again. We saw the Zuko against Tiger, I believe.
Yeah,
and,
we did.
Now we're seeing it against Laz.
And you know, I'm really undercrediting Laz here because I thought Reaper was gonna sweep. To be honest, like measuring up in terms of power ranking and tournament performance, Reaper is supposedly on a whole different level. But I'm sure he is. I'm sure Reaper is on a whole different level. But I bet you Laz is probably up there like right now too.
Oh my goodness gracious me! That KO's already Laz's. They were going even for a good moment there, and then Laz just had the advantage, pushed it, got the read right with that down sig with Reaper coming up, and it paid the price with the KO. And at the moment, Laz is looking really nice here at the moment. He's getting edge guarded at the moment, makes his way back. Reaper burns his dodge, tries to find a side air, dodge through. Another pogo, more damage built up onto Reaper. Unarmed neutral heavy is gonna get the KO, but there is a lot of damage being built onto Reaper right now. And if you're a Reaper fan, or you are Reaper himself, which only 1 out of 8 billion people can do, it's not pretty. Laz missing that downlight into the recovery, that might not be helpful. Now Reaper, he is finding a couple more of these spear hits, but there's a lot of damage onto his name at the moment, but he's bringing it even. Tries to get a second, third pogo in, but none of them hitting the recovery. Double recovery, that's gonna end up taking the KO when Reaper's put himself back in it.
Yep, here we go. I mean, not gonna take much to KO, especially with the Maggie. There we go, down sig.
Doesn't take anything to KO other than the down signature to KO.
Both players are now, you know, even, but, you know, Laz on the axe. Into this 5-4 defense Tori, like I'm just gonna put it in the way of Laz because he's gonna have a much easier time KOing with the weapons and the kit that he has than Reaper does. But as I say that, never mind, wasn't gonna KO, but that was looking fairly close, and that was looking like it was almost it for Laz. But let's see if he can make it back here. Reaper's gonna just take hit after hit.
Mincing up with the axe at the moment. Reaper swapping onto the sword, tried to weapon starve Laz, but sidelight sider, that's gonna end up taking the KO, and Laz is 2-0 up against Reaper in elimination final.
You know, I was not expecting this, and I really want to see what Reaper does here because I think a legend swap is coming out. I don't think the sword, the spear is working here. I don't think even the axe, if you swap back to Bryn or Ivor, I think he needs to play Lucian.
Yeah, he is back on the Lucian on what is potentially his last game of the evening. As Laz is looking really nice on this Maggie as we go into game 3. Laz is doing a lot of cooking, man. There is a lot of cooking happening at the moment. And boy, is it making me hungry, and does it sure taste tasty.
mean, let's see what happens here, because these guns and this high defense is gonna like prove pretty difficult for Laz, I think, because I mean we'll see, but being able to keep like a player at like so far away from you and have such safe options, especially with the guns aerial kit, is kind of what Reaper needs here, and it's kind of what we're seeing, because that Sarah is really doing a lot for Reaper right now on guns.
Yeah, I mean, also, I mean, oh wow, the haymaker coming out from Matt and from Laz. In my opinion, axe into blasters it's a good. I would say it's a good matchup for axe, because any grounded move that blasters can throw out, as Reaper gets the KO with the down air, any grounded move that blasters can throw out, axe can just instantly get guaranteed 30 damage from it with a dash sideline there.
I mean,
so
that is true, but again, it's quite deceptive of how much active range guns has, and I do agree with you. It's definitely much easier to punish a guns player when they're grounded, but I think what we're seeing here that Reaper has is absolute sauce and iron.
Reaper's just pulled out. What? That's insane. He's running rampant against Laz right now, who is 2-0 up against him, and this Lucian is looking very nice. The sword recovery finally from Laz, taking the KO. He's going to give himself the axe instead. He's going to hope to try and get a reverse 3-0 in this game. Reaper tried to go for the downline into the recovery, but Laz didn't have enough damage on him for that to be able to happen. Another GC downline into the Sair. Side air there from Laz and Sig from Reaper.
With guns, like, what Reaper's doing is he's not really playing grounded, and there we go. Like, what he's doing is he's floating around, he's kind of baiting Laz into coming into the air with him, and guns kind of wins that matchup in the air. Axe is just too slow. It doesn't move fast enough in the air, and it doesn't have good enough hitboxes in contrast to guns to win that matchup. And I think, yeah, on the ground, if you convince, or not convince, if you manage to keep Reaper grounded, like, you're probably going to be winning that matchup. But I think, like, Reaper doesn't take as much damage as you do, and because he does have low attack and you have low defense, it kind of works out in his favor. And there we go, finally the Koji swap coming out. This is a character that Laz is known for. But yeah, I hope this is enough, because Reaper is absolutely monstrous on this Lucian today.
This Lucian has been looking really nice, but Laz is finding a couple of these nice little sword downlight recoveries. Damage at the moment pretty even. Laz just goes for straight up grounding in the air. Reaper does find, try to go for the side air, potentially, maybe trying to read Laz, side signature, not going to do it. That was a nice read from Reaper with that down signature, finishing off the stock in the end, which the damage at the moment is really even. Try to find a second down air after the first, but is going to get punished for it. Side air, not enough to KO Lucian's high defense. Unarmed side air is actually going to do it. You don't see that every day. You don't see an unarmed side air getting a lot of KOs these days.
I mean, if it's far enough out and they're barbecue enough out, like, you know, it is gonna KO. But again, like, Reaper is relentless on these guitars. He's relentless on these guns. He does not stop. He does not use the bathroom. He just goes for the kill. He goes for the KO. And yeah, that's what I'm worried about last year, especially off stage like that. Like, you're just down there and you're like, what do I do? What do I do? And then before you know it, you just SD'd, and that's kind of what happened to Laz there.
Yeah, Laz maybe really panicking up against Reaper. He tried to go down and get a down air when Reaper was nowhere to be found down there, and Laz is already gone. The early give, and we have ourselves, just like that, we have ourselves a game 5. Like that.
That game took less than 2 minutes.
That is beyond crazy. And now he swapped back to the Maggie now. He's back on the Maggie for game 5.
I don't know what. I think that Maggie was working better, but I don't think like I would personally just swap to a completely new legend, because the problem here I think is his low defense, because Lucian doesn't really have high attack force. His Sigs kill, that's true, but his Sigs are infinitely more punishable than the slide attacks. So I personally would go with a Macho Man here. I do think that, yeah, the guitars and the lance into Lucian is probably not the best, but the higher defense is definitely going to do something for you.
Yeah, at the moment, the damage is even at the moment. But Laz gets a huge side sig, tries to chase up Reaper, connects with that side air, can't find anything else, try to get the GCN light, but looks like Reaper managing to avoid it quite nicely. Now Reaper swapping onto the guns, which, mind you, he didn't use at all in the last game. 0 damage on guns. I think I have to point that out. Just a Katar's monster.
It's always flip-flopping for Reaper, though. He always goes to, like, this doesn't work, okay, or I'm really doing well with guns right now, I'm just gonna play guns, or I'm really doing well with guitars right now, I'm just gonna play guitars. But Reaper's gonna fall to his second stock on his tournament game in a best of 5 on game 5, and yeah, he's not gonna have to do much to KO. He does get the KO with the ground pound right there. I want to see him play probably guitars here, although guns would probably be more beneficial because of those platforms, because he's able to juggle Laz. Yeah, I think Reaper has a very good advantage state right now. He needs to capitalize before Laz can swap to the axe, because, again, I don't think sword is Laz's strongest weapon in this matchup. Maybe it's his strongest weapon overall, but I really prefer him on the axe here compared to the sword.
Yeah, at the moment, there is a decent amount of damage built up onto Laz. Trying to find that down signature does Reaper cut, but can't seem to quite connect it. Both of these players now returning into the neutral. Laz punished with a side light and light, but nothing else. Couldn't find the read off it. Another down light there from Laz. Catches the read. That's gonna get the KO, and Laz is now on tournament stock here in game number 5 in the elimination final. Whoever wins this goes through into Grands and faces up against Himwe. Nice downlight into the recovery there by Laz. Finds second recovery.
Can't get too ahead of ourselves here, because Laz, you know, he's taken a beating, but I really do think he has a chance. But you know what they say, never bring a knife to a gunfight, and that's kind of what's going on here. As I say that, Laz brings a bunch of zombies to the gunfight, so that kind of helped a bit. But
even in, the blasters would still win out on that one. I mean, maybe not too
until you have to reload, and I think that's what Laz needs to do. He needs to catch Reaper with his pants down, reloading, so we can get these KOs. But as I say that, never mind. But Lucian here on the guitars, Reaper on the guitars.
Oh,
you know,
no,
he's taking a lot of hits. He's taking a lot of hits. He has a good chance for a good edge guard right here. The D6 is gonna come out. Missed time. He's gonna be off stage once again. Throws away the weapon. Reaper on the guns. D-Light and Sig right here is gonna KO another Sarah. Reaper on the right side of the stage. Laz is fishing.
Oh, that's not enough to KO just yet. He only has a recovery left. Gets down it. Laz can't get back, and Reaper manages to get the reverse 3-set to put himself into grand finals.
And yeah, I mean, that was close. That was very close, but I still do think that the Lucian pick is what Reaper should have started with here. I mean, I would have swapped to Lucian. I'm not Reaper, but I would have told Reaper swap to Lucian on game 2, because Ivor, you know, he does play Bryn. He is a good Bryn player, probably one of the best. But that Lucian, I love seeing that. It just seems like he's able to run away with so much, and especially because Reaper's so much better at reading players than most people. He doesn't really adopt the type of playstyle where you kind of sit back and wait for your opponent to whiff. He doesn't really watch how people move and see where they go. He kind of, well, he does, but he reads, he downloads information, he thinks about how a player's been playing, thinks about their next move. He's always in the mental game, and he always has the reads, which I think is what the Lucian does really well for him, because he's, you know, Katars is a read-based string weapon, but a lot of the most amazing things that I saw weren't on just guitars. It was on his guns.
Brawl.
Alright, now, it's, we are in here in grand finals, and we're having major swaps from both parties. It looks like Himwe is going on the Lin Fei, and it looks like the Diana for Reaper, and he finds a guns ground pound. He finds another one.
Okay,
and
three
20
guns
seconds
ground
in, and
pounds.
Reaper has a KO to his name.
Yeah, this is not looking good for him, especially on his low defense into the Diana. Like, this is gonna hurt, and it's gonna keep hurting if you keep throwing, like, gravity cancels out there that don't hit.
Ooh, that usually actually managed to get the KO. I'm a little bit surprised about that KOing for some reason, but nevertheless, it does the job. But there is a lot of damage here onto Himwe, which a downlight recovery would be getting himself the KO. Nice whiff punish there, but couldn't find the dodge read. Downlight recovery, KO, and looks like Reaper is he's looking very nice here in game one.
Reaper's a happy
He is
boy.
on the loser side of the bracket, so a Reaper would have to win 2 best-of-5 sets in a row to be able to take out the entire tournament. GC side signature, Himwe doesn't even touch!
Alright,
And Reaper takes game 1.
that was literally an 83-second game.
83 seconds.
Yeah, that was an 83-second game.
That's kinda scary. Just a little bit.
I mean, Himwe, yeah, low defense into the Diana, into guns, high force. I'm not a fan of this pick. You can get away with a lot. I mean, hey, as long as you don't hit, you make low defense work. But you're not fighting anyone here, you're fighting Reaper, and Reaper downloads you pretty quickly.
This Cassidy pick will be a bit interesting from Himwe, especially in a Blaster Ditto, which is not my favorite thing in the world, but definitely not not any player's favorite thing in the world. And, but at the moment, it is Himwe on the hammer instead. Try to find the recovery, but Blaster down
see
here,
3
doing
ground
more
pounds
damage.
again?
Now both players on the blasters. Nice GC downlight from Himwe, snapping onto that ledge, but a couple more hits coming out from both of these players. It's pretty even at the moment. Himwe with a massive read, and then couldn't find the recovery. Reaper tried to find a recovery, and then Himwe punished him for doing the recovery with a recovery. It sounds like I'm just trying to explain a paradox at the moment. And Himwe is still going crazy with the unarmed. Going deep for that ground pound. The weapon throw stunning Reaper twice a little bit there. Tried to find Himwe off stage. Can't catch the GC down sig. Both of them now make their way back onto stage. Himwe is still going on unarmed. What is going on in this game?
I think
I
think he wants the hammer for next stock, which is why he wasn't picking it up.
Yeah, but that's still crazy. Yeah, Himwe burning a dodge with that GC, which you only may have seen a couple frames of. But it's now, at the moment, Himwe does have blasters in hand. Finds a recovery, finds a KO, and this game is very much not like the first game that we had, Skiff. This is
definitely not.
Way different.
This hammer is finding hits, this guns is finding hit. I'm more confident on this pick. Okay, that was looking like it was going to be a ground pound right there, and that was going to be the end for Reaper. But here we go. Reaper has the edge guard. Never mind him. He's going to make it back to stage. No dodge. Finding himself off stage again. In the air. Doing another edge guard. So close.
Wait. Did he touch? Oh, he does make it back though. Oh, Himwe. Okay. You take your prize for that one. I was gonna start panicking if you got a KO from that.
He was cooking, then he was overcooking, then he was overheating.
He just a bit off maybe a little bit more than he could chew there. Gonna be completely honest. But now Himwe is trying to find the weapon. He does get an unarmed recovery, which gives him space. Stomp can't find the down air afterwards.
He kind of misses the.
There's a side air, not enough to get the KO just yet. Oh no! Yeah, reads the dodge. Okay. That neutral air is going to get the KO. And ladies and gentlemen, we are here at 1 apiece.
Yeah, strong showing from Himwe. I mean, Reaper, yeah, like unfortunate first stock. I would definitely put it in the way of Himwe, although like it was fairly even towards the end. It just seemed like Himwe had a little bit more of an edge. And as we see here, he whiffs the Sarah and then immediately gets nared and punished. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, Himwe, it reacts fast. He punishes quickly. He does not waste opportunities.
I mean, a little bit of an interesting way to start out the game. Himwe is still going absolutely crazy on the unarmed. Now both of them on the Blaster Ditto, punishing that GC. Another weapon throw from Himwe. Himwe has been using a lot of these weapon throws on Cassidy to his advantage, and it's been working out really well. Himwe try to find the read. 3-piece on the unarmed there from Reaper. Now Himwe does make his way back to stage after going high. The ground pound gets dodged through. Side air KO. That will do it. And at the moment, there is a lot happening here.
I mean, a lot happening on Himwe's side.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
What in the what? I told you there's a lot of information to take in, and my brain is having a little bit of an overload. What on the world just happened there?
Okay, so to anyone who doesn't understand, Hammer ground pound I believe is negative on hit at that damage, so you shouldn't really be going for it at that health, because when a move is negative, it means that you actually don't have a frame advantage, and they can hit you while you're still in stun frames.
Oh no. And Himwe is on his last stock in game number 3 here. He's gonna have to try and find an answer to Reaper, and he's gonna have to try and find it quick. Side signature connecting. Does he have an answer for perhaps?
Yeah,
we are even here.
Just putting a little bit of...
just letting him to the weapon. Burns a GC. And Reaper's gonna manage to get a nice little 3-piece there on the blasters.
Putting a bit of
Gets
dirt.
a 3-piece combo. Down signature there from Reaper. Sends Himwe at an awful angle. Try to find the Seth. Doesn't have enough to... Does have enough to make it back. Barely. But doesn't have enough. And that's going to take the KO. And Reaper is 1 game away from getting the reset.
Yeah, I mean... Personally, I want to see the reset. More games, more fun. I mean, I don't know about Sandwick, who's hosting this tournament, you know, but he'd probably be a bit tired. But I personally want to see the reset because I want to see more Reaper. His guns is amazing. I want to see him go back to Lucian actually. But again, this Cassidy pick is, yeah, it's monstrous because of how much Himwe gets to get away with, especially with the high dex. Okay, Himwe on Tezca. I personally would have stayed on the Cassidy because what happened there was I feel like Himwe made a little bit of... He overcooked a lot. Himwe overheated a lot. But, I don't know.
Oh, that side air barely not connecting, and Himwe is gonna manage to get a lot of damage on those boots. He's just kicking and screaming his way in. Nice side air again. Ground pound, that's gonna do it. And Himwe's boots is the kicking is look, he's kicking himself to victory at the moment, and it's maybe he's just treating his opponent at the moment like a soccer ball, and it ain't looking too good. Oh my goodness, try to go for that GC. Himwe doesn't have enough. Oh, he does have enough to make it back, but not before eating a bow ground pound to the face. It ends up resulting in his KO, but we are here. It is here again. Decent amount of damage is built up onto Reaper at the moment from these two. Nice downlay into the side air. Try to go for that side signature. Not able to connect, but that down air, regardless, it's again, the Himwe has a entire stock advantage to his name at the moment.
Yeah, and on this boots, like what kind of weapon is the boots? It doesn't really like if I had to compare it to a bunch of weapons, and I think this makes it a unique weapon, which is great, but I think it's one of the weapons that have come out in a while that you have to play so uniquely against, that you really have to understand the matchup, and I think not enough people have played against it or have played it to really understand what to do against boots, because it looks so like relentless, it looks so good, you get so many combos off of it, and it just feels like it's so hard to figure out. And I simply think that's
Game
over for
5,
Reaper.
here we come.
Win.
Reaper trying to go for that GC downlight, hoping to hit and get a chase dodge from it, but we are here. It is a game 5. If Reaper wins this, we go to a bracket reset. If Himwe wins this, we have a SEA Showdown champion on our hands. We have the character swap here. It is the latest, most recent legend to exist in the game against the oldest legend to ever exist in the game. It is the Tezca
2,
up
1,
against the
brawl.
Bodvar in game 5. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, because this is something that we may never see.
We've seen a lot of people swapping off of Tezca and then playing Bodvar, but we've never seen people playing Bodvar into Tezca.
It's a bit of an interesting match, especially with Hammer being a lot slower against very two fast-paced weapons. But oh my goodness, if that down air connected, that would have been a pleasure for Reaper. The grab pound will GC
my!
You're crazy! You are crazy! Get yourself in a mental hospital, because that was crazy! Oh my goodness, GC down signature hitting, does find the recovery. Himwe is having answers of his own. Reaper can't find anything else. That recovery not able to connect. Potentially would have KO'd. That side signature will do it though in the end.
That was really satisfying. I have to say that side signature was really satisfying.
We had a lot of Brawlhalla just happen in the last minute, ladies and gentlemen. Better be leaning on the front of your seats, because I definitely am. Bring out the popcorn, baby. It is showtime.
We're in a game 5 situation where, I mean, it's not over for Himwe if he loses this, but this is tense for Reaper because, like, this battle boots is going absolutely crazy right now. Like, how are you? It's just he's racking up so much damage. He's getting so many hits. You're like worried at any moment. You have to literally be thinking on your feet because this weapon is. It's just taking the stage.
It's
and
tournament stock here for Reaper as well.
You have to find your footing.
No.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do here? Because, like, Reaper has to kind of like force him to slow down, which is so hard when you're on Tezca. Because I feel like this character, like, it's so fun to watch because when you get momentum, you go absolutely ballistic.
Wins it with that. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. After a very fast-paced game 5, Himwe is your SEA Showdown champion. Oh my days. GG's.
And yeah, I mean, Himwe, like, went absolutely nuts this tournament. I really liked watching Himwe. I might be a Himwe fan now. I didn't really like the guy a couple years ago, but you know, he's starting to grow on me now. I'm pretty fond of his playstyle. The way he played Cassidy as a Cassidy player, I really like that as well. He just makes the movement look so clean. And you know, another player who had really clean movement today was Sphinx. But Reaper, Sphinx, they both did amazing. But Himwe, I just felt was absolutely like just tearing it up at every single moment, and didn't really seem like anyone had an answer to what he was doing.
Yeah, it was a very good tournament overall. Himwe just almost wiping the floor clean in this tournament. Reaper taking second. Laz, which a little bit of a surprise to me, ends up finishing third this tournament. They round out the podium. Sphinx just missing it. But it was a good tournament overall. A lot of entertaining, fast-paced, aggressive, action-packed gameplay, which you expect from the Southeast Asian community. You really do. But it is now time for us to wrap up the stream. My name is That Jerry Boy. It was a pleasure being here, being able to cast this tournament. Skiffy, you have any final words?
Yeah, I mean, you guys kind of know me. I mean, the C and Oz community might be kind of familiar to me, but I'm Skiff. I just want to say thank you to Sandwick and Contrast for You know, they're behind the scenes, they're helping out. They're helping with C because for the longest time I put a lot of time and effort into trying to make C work, but you know, I think I really just needed help. And I didn't ask these guys to do this. This is their own initiative. This is them showing passion for the game. And that's what C needs. It needs more passion. And I'm so thankful for this opportunity from Sandway, Contrast, and DMG, you know, for funding it. So just want to say thanks. I'm Skiff, and I'll see you guys later.
My name. I'll see y'all later too. Peace. Long way to go before he is able to be able to take this game for himself. And Laz is just so far away. Oh wait.
This stuff, it's so fast and it's so hard. And just like that, right? Okay, Laz, off stage. Okay, recovering from the bottom
All the way to the other side. Doesn't have a dodge. Has nothing. Gets KO'd.
Ooh. Oh. Okay, yeah.
Oh no. Shit. Not on anything else. Down tick. That's gonna do
There we
it.
go. I mean, not gonna take much to KO, especially with the Maggie. There we go. Down sync.
Doesn't take anything.
And I do agree with you. It's definitely much easier to punish a guns player when they're grounded. But I think what we're seeing here that Reaper has is
what we're
absolute. And yeah, that's what I'm worried about last year, especially off stage. Like
in Faye, and it looks like the Diana for Reaper. For the side I try to go for that side signature, not able to connect, but that's the fast-paced weapons. But oh my goodness, if that down air connected, that would have been a pleasure for Reaper. The ground pound rule, jeez, he's
my!
crazy!
I feel like this character, like, is so fun to watch because when you get momentum, you go absolutely ballistic.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen,